Okay. Uh, Big Red. Yes, we were getting ready. Okay, we were waiting for people to get here. I wasn't trying to just start and just go, okay, guys, no one's here. We're gonna start talking. But we're here. Oh, that's my main screen. Let me go down to football talk. Okay, here we are. Hello. Okay.
The football.
Football. Uh oh. I heard it. Hold on, let me go back here. Big Red Beard. You have just followed?
Wow.
You just followed? Hmm?
That's rude.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
That's rude.
That face.
Twitch
Terrified.
unfollow the fuck ton of people. I swear it wasn't me. Oh boy, Big Red.
Blame it on Twitch.
I've done that before. You know, I'm kidding, Big Red. No, I know what you mean. Hey, it's totally no, it's totally fine there, Big Red. I'm
Shit
glad you're here
happens.
though. I'm just glad you're here, man. Like I said, if you ever want to join us, like if
You're
you're,
lucky that beard is so magnificent.
I know I'm catching up to you, Big Red. Don't you worry about it. I may need to clean up, but I'm getting there. I'm catching up. But uh, but yeah, like I said, if you ever are, I broke my fucking door. Oh my god. How did you break? Did you like yank the son bitch open or something? Like, what'd you do, Mr. Muscles? Come on. Broke the door. Yes, sir. Yeah, Big Red said, "Oh, I'm too strong for this door." Left my keys inside.
I'm too strong for this door.
You left your keys inside, so you locked yourself out. Is what you're telling me. It's not. It's not that you broke your door. Well, you broke the door probably because you left your keys inside. That's what you're telling me. Oh shit! I left my keys inside. There's no one around. Okay. I,
Hulk smash!
damn right. I'd be the same way.
I get it.
Over 400 passing yards for your Madden team. Got it this week. Don't be confusing people. Everyone's gonna be looking like, who's Lawrence?
Nice.
Who's Lawrence? Who's Lawrence? All right, let's do this. All right, welcome, welcome, one and all. Oh well, I'm getting paid for this. Hey, that's right, Big Red. You still clocked on. You get that money, dude. Get that shit.
I'll get that paper.
Paper, paper. All right, so we want to go down the list again, or do we want to go by any sort of primetime games you want to talk about first? You want to check?
I mean, I don't think there was no real standout games in my head.
Yeah,
I
same
mean,
here.
there was some good football, but
Yeah, unfortunately,
nothing ever.
I know exactly what you mean. How about the fact Dan Quinn isn't fucking fired yet? I know. I mean, speaking of the news on that, let's go ahead and go over the news for this shit. So obviously we all know Bill. Well, unless you know, don't follow football. Bill O'Brien fired. 0-4 Texans. Makes sense. I mean, first off,
Yeah,
trade away DeAndre Hopkins, who's a stud in Arizona and making bank. But you know what? He's making bank because he's doing productive work. I ain't mad. But people, the Houston Texans are mad because they lost their great wide receiver for a running back who isn't productive. Their O line is still shit, and their coach can't seem to figure it out. Head coach slash GM, yeah, exactly. Which, as we all know from the history of ever in the NFL, if you ever put a head coach as a GM as well, it never fucking works because you have that emotional
yeah.
side of a head coach who says, I can't trade away like that's why you have a GM. He's non-biased. He's like freaking Bill O'Brien probably with DeAndre Hopkins said, oh, he doesn't like to listen to me. He's a little freaking jerk, and you know.
See, I would never want to take that kind of position because like it takes the blame away too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if some like yeah, if this guy fucks up, you can't be like, oh well, this guy he's the one that drafted him, and the guy that drafted him can't be like, well, he's the one that's coaching him. They're the same guy. That's both on you.
I mean, it's like Pete Carroll up in Seattle. Like he tries to like. I already know he's the one that makes the draft picks, but it's funny because he tries his best not to be the one to take the blame. So he'll be sitting there going like, It's just it's just one of those
That's
things
why he
sometimes,
trades them away.
and that's why he.
He just
That's exactly why he traded away his first round picks. He said, "I just, John, over the last 6 or 7 years, I mean, Russell Wilson was a third round pick. Sherman, that dude was a fifth rounder. These first round picks just ain't working there, buddy. I don't know what to do about it. Don't know what to
they're fine with it. They're like, yep, we'll find someone special in the second, third round.
do." Pretty much, that's how our team works. We and now we got Jamal Adams, who's got like a freaking growing injury, which is fantastic. But back to your team, where do you think Bill will end up? Right in Atlanta, they're big. No, no. I think honestly, if I'm looking at Bill O'Brien going anywhere, it's either going to be a coordinator slot or I expect college. Honestly, I don't think any NFL teams ready to take him in. Like Andy Gase from the Jets has a better chance of getting another job than Bill O'Brien does right now. I'm just saying, especially after that DeAndre Hopkins trade, a lot of teams are wary about his choices, if you will. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say he's definitely on a chopping block of if he wants a job again, he better go looking at some Division 1 schools. I'm just saying. So as far as for the Falcons, they need to definitely. I don't know what's taking the owner so long. I mean, Dan Quinn, a great defensive coordinator for Seattle. That's the only reason why I don't think negatively of him to where he's
Here's
like,
the thing with the Falcons. I count the Falcons as 0-3 right now because they just faced Aaron Rodgers, and he is just going to clean sweep that that division right now. So like, shout out to the Falcons for scoring points,
yeah,
but Aaron Rodgers is absolute magic.
yeah. The Packers have been looking really good this year. So, I mean, the fact that Atlanta already had to face Seattle the first week, which no one knew that Seattle was going to come out blazing like they did. I expected Seattle to tank this year, honestly. 80% of the secondary is hurt. That is true, Big Red. That is true. Like I said, for my team, that's the same thing though. Like I mean, we're not hurt, but our secondary on Seattle has literally like what we have Jamal Adams now, but he's injured. But and then we had Shaquille Griffin, and then the rest of our secondary was a bunch of practice squad members that were just like, and says he is keeping Quinn due to this being injured. Probably they're probably trying to blame. Oh yeah, he is definitely a monster. Definitely a monster once he's healthy, which I'm worried about that because again, it's like us trading for Percy Harvin back in the day, like from the Vikings. Great receiver, great return guy, never healthy. He had a hip injury that was just always bugging him. And Jamal, I don't know how he is with his growing injury, but if he stays healthy, freaking fantastic. If he keeps getting injured because he has a nutsack that's big or some shit that keeps bobbing around between his legs, I don't know. I mean, like if he has to get a hernia every fucking year, that's gonna be kind of bad. You know what I mean?
It's a common injury in the NFL. I heard
The groin injury. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I mean, you got guys trying to tackle you, grappling you and shit. I mean, at some point, someone's hands can go right there and
when
just
you
smack the shit out of your boys. You
when
know.
you when your balls are just swinging so much that
I mean, there's that, but like I said, in the fact that somebody's gonna, freaking ding dong or something like that.
oh yeah, no,
I mean, it's gonna happen.
you're gonna get you're gonna get punched in the junk a couple of times on that field.
Exactly. And so, honestly, with like I said, with the Falcons, I'm gonna say that because the players are still great. I mean, even without they got rid of Mohamed Sanu last year, and they have all these other receivers coming up like oh crap, what's that guy's name? Zacchaeus or something like that. He's stepping up pretty nicely for them, and I mean I like the Falcons still. I don't know what though. Like it's just like whatever happens behind the scenes, like you said, like they should be like two and something this year, at least two and something, because they lost 2 games that they were leading on, obviously as you already know, and so like I said, that's where I think Dan Quinn should be on the chopping block. But I understand why the owner's probably like, well, we got injured players. I mean, you're still a great coach there, Dan. And yeah, it's rough. It's rough because great defensive coordinator, like I said, for Seattle, great defensive coordinator, head coach. I mean, like a whole different ball game. Like Matt Patricia over in Detroit. Great defense coordinator for the Patriots. Nobody likes him as head coach. So
Not a great head coach.
yeah, I mean, or even Josh McDaniel back in the day. I mean, he literally was freaking offensive coordinator for the Patriots so long, and then Denver said, "Hey, come be our freaking head coach." He said, "Okay." 8-0 starts, and then he went 8-0-8 at the end of the year. It was like, what the fuck happened? And then he went back to New England after that. Or even Nick Saban with Miami. You know, freaking Alabama had like college coach of the fucking century or whatever you want to call him. And then he goes to Miami, looks like doo doo, and then like not even at the end of the year he leaves and goes back to Alabama. Like it was like so sad. He literally left in the middle of the football year. I was like, dude, you're a little like that's the only reason why I don't respect like Nick Saban is because he didn't even finish his year. He literally dipped.
That was a bit of a bitch move.
Like it was such a bitch move. I was like, I remember seeing that. I'm like, he what? And then Alabama was like, oh yeah, we're gonna sign him again. I'm like, what? What? And then he goes and wins like a couple more championships. People are like, oh, Nick Saban's a fucking coach of the. I'm like, no, he ain't shit.
He's the college
He's
coach.
a college coach. Congratulations, you can fucking you little. Like, I mean, like, oh my god, I'm sorry. That just like if you're gonna do something, finish through with it. You know, like you don't be like, oh god, we're 2-10. I'm fucking out. Something put an interim coach in. Sorry guys. Not even sorry. Just fucking f you. I'm out.
Rude ass.
Asshole. All right. And other news today, also, just because of, Stephon Gilmore, the Patriots. We already know about Cam Newton, but now Gilmore's also tested positive for COVID. Um,
He got the Rona.
he got the Rona. Another Titans player. So that's a total of 9 people in Titans organization that's also tested positive for the Rona. Um, kind of nervous about this.
The Rona. Yeah, no, this is. I mean, this could definitely. All joking aside,
Right.
um, no, this could definitely be a big hit. Especially seeing what they did for the Steelers Titans game. This could definitely put a complete halt to the league. And I mean, I know they don't want to be postponing things, and I'm sure nobody wants a Super Bowl in May. That would be a little annoying.
Right. And then the fact, like you said, like postponing things, like, I mean, for one, I mean, that changes the whole perspective. I mean, you look at these teams that are doing really well right now. You got the Bills, the Seahawks, you got um, Packers, you got all these teams that are doing really well. You take a postponement,
Best.
you're like, a month, let's just say, like where they like are just trying to clean up COVID or month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how long they take, because sometimes they take their sweet ass time with it. Next thing you know, they come back and then boom, Houston all of a sudden is like, recharged and like, let's go. Next thing you know, they're winning like 5 games in a row. Seattle somehow is just not doing well. Packers look weird, like Aaron Rodgers becomes stiff again, injures himself. You never know. That's the thing with postponement. It affect because
He is.
the time affects
Aaron
everything.
Rodgers is dropping dimes and suck it signs all year.
Yeah, and
All year.
and if he like has to miss any sort of practice for the next like month or two, I feel like that's gonna affect him and other players as well. And that's where I don't want to see that happen because I want to see like how the year goes too. I want to see the whole football year happen. And unfortunately, like I said, we may experience something like that where like because of COVID, they're gonna be like, okay, we have to hold off on the NFL season, which would suck. But I mean, I'd rather that happen than players keep getting sick and then like all of a sudden the whole NFL is infected with COVID, and then all of a sudden everyone's like freaking out, like we're all gonna die. Yeah. So
I mean, it is. I mean, I do know it is a much larger task than, than most of the sports. Well, maybe not most of the sports, but a lot of sports. Um, but a bubble probably would have been the best bet. I mean, we
agreed
saw it work out for the MLB.
for
I
the
mean, well,
NBA.
the MLB did move around, but they were secluded. They weren't going completely to the other side of the country. They were staying in a little bubble area, basically.
Yeah, the NBA did the same thing, and no one got sick there.
Yeah,
And then
NHL had their two bubble hubs, and they were good.
yeah, and with MLB, I mean, here we say, whew, at the beginning of the year, I do remember, or beginning of the year, I say, quote unquote, but like basically, whenever baseball season really began, there was that whole thing with the Marlins, where the Marlins were just taking hits after hits on COVID. Like there were so many players on COVID, um, but they still came back and ended up making the playoffs this year. So I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, like even though the COVID's taking place, I feel like there's still a chance to like it'll go like hopefully like I said what I see with the Marlins, it'll go away and hopefully stay away. But for now, it's just about making sure, knock on wood, it goes away. So besides all that, we are that's just stuff for the future. You know, I'm talking about that, but that's all gonna be done with predictions later. Well, that's all if that happens. But anyway, we have predictions coming up for that next week if nothing happens, and we have this week to talk about. So I guess we'll just get right into it, starting with the Thursday night game of the. Trying to be nice here, Chief. Broncos versus Jets. So what?
Oh, you be nice. I'm gonna bury him. I'm gonna bury him in a second.
Okay. Well, Broncos versus Jets. You know.
Jets fucking stink. Jets just fucking. I can't hold it in. Jets just fucking stink. I can't. I cannot stress this enough. I can't get over it. They're just. They're not. If there's a team to go 0-16 this year, it is the fucking Jets.
And that is why my fantasy team is full of people every week that they say, you know, that they're going against the Jets. I'm voting against the Jets. I'm just like
I'm gonna pick up that defense.
that defense for sure. Tight end, receiver, quarterback, everybody's starting that's playing against the Jets. Unfortunately, you know, like no no disrespect to the organization per se, but I mean that team just they need something. They need to revamp everything because you got a quarterback who's he's not the answer. I mean, I've been saying this like since pretty much this year, pretty much because over the last couple of years he hasn't proven it, and then this year, every week he's just shown more and more that he's not dropping numbers. He's not trying to push the ball downfield. He's yeah, sure, he's making completions like going for I'm sure like 30. Let me just see it real quick because I'll even let y'all know. Like this year, yeah, let me get in there real quick. Sorry guys, because I actually have the stats right here. 23 of 42. So he had about half percentage of his completions, 230 yards, which looks okay because he's actually moving the ball down. Like he's actually like got two football lengths of yards on him. But then he has 0 for 0, no touchdowns, no receptions, so he didn't even get close enough to even make it to the end zone. And he went 6 to 54, so he got six sacks on him, which means his O line wasn't there to help him at all. And then I mean, he ran the ball in. I'm not gonna lie, Sam Darnold ran the ball in, which is nice. That's great and all, but that's just more of a defensive front not paying attention to where Darnold is, and that's just him taking advantage of that. But it's already been said that he got injured this week, so next week we're already gonna see Joe Flacco come in, Mr. Flacco himself, who we haven't heard of since pretty much since Baltimore. He went to
All
Denver,
right. All right.
disappeared, came to New York. He's gonna be starting. So go ahead.
I mean, you can like. I want to talk shit about Flacco, but like like the man did break his hip, so like that is a big injury to
I
come
put
back
my
from, and
hands on you
obviously he was
when I tip you, tip me. Sorry. Go ahead.
he was definitely not definitely not the same quarterback that he was after the injury. I mean,
No,
I'm not saying he was, Tom Brady or even a Lamar
no, but he was a
Jackson
good
caliber
quarterback for
quarterback, but he
Baltimore,
was definitely a decent quarterback.
and I
Yes.
100% agree with that.
I
It's
mean, he won us a championship. Not I mean, not him solely, but like he was the quarterback of our championship team. So that's got to say something.
and Iverson. I see your joke there. I know that's what you did on your man franchise. We'll see what happens in New York, especially with them having,
I mean, it's,
especially with how the New York City fans feel about both their teams, Giants and the Jets, with both teams,
the Utah Jets.
or whatever else they change their name to. But yeah, with the like he said with Joe Flacco, I mean, but it's like I was saying about Percy Harvin, you know, it's like or Sean Alexander, who was a running back in the day. It's the injury effect, you know. It's like for Joe Flacco, he could come in and still do decently, possibly with the Jets, but it's like Chief said. I mean, since his injury, he's just it's like he realized how probably fragile his body is, and now he's probably too scared to really take a hit or take chances because he doesn't want to freaking break his hip again. And that's the same with like Sean Alexander and Percy Harvin was just always getting injured. I mean, he would play, but he would get injured all the time. Sean Alexander freaking just didn't even. I don't think he break his ankle. Yeah, he might have broke his ankle. But then when he came back, he wasn't the same running back. He went like 1,000 yard season with like record breaking 27 touchdowns at the time, and then after that he like couldn't even get past the line of scrimmage because he was like too terrified to run the ball. It seemed like it was like we don't know who this guy is anymore. So it's sad to see, but like Chief said, injuries definitely take effect of people. Absolutely, 100%.
I mean, I took a fall on a longboard and I'm afraid to go over like 10 miles an hour on the thing now. So I can only imagine getting pummeled by like a 300-pound linebacker.
And then having to go do that the next week, go against some big old like
The
big old.
next week, the next play, the next play.
Well, I'm saying like if you're
You
injured,
know that
if
you
you're injured,
you know that your line isn't going to be coming isn't going to be stopping you, so you're going to take that truck right to the face again.
I'll just say if you're excuse
Absolutely
me,
terrible.
if you're injured, I mean, if you get injured from that kind of like that kind of play where big old 300-pound guy freaking squishes you, like Aaron Rodgers, for instance, when he got squished and broke his collarbone, and then all of a sudden like he comes back and sees the defensive lineman has a traumatic experience, freaking falls down and takes the sack or something. I mean, that's what happens when you get injured. You have those. Yeah, that's why they say you gotta like torn ACLs are hard to come back from because they legit could end your career because people are afraid of what could happen to their knee if they don't take care of it. And so, and plus, I mean, torn ACL, that's nothing to mess with. So, anyway, in this one, the Broncos and Jets just kind of finish up. So, Joe Flacco starting this next week for them. Um, Not much going on this game. Brad Ripien on the other side for Denver had somewhat. It was a decent game for him until you see his interception numbers. He had 3 picks. So the Jets defense still doing its thing. It's just that again, you need that quarterback who can move the ball downfield for you, and you need a running game because Frank Gore 13 of 30, 2.3 yards a carry, not getting it done whatsoever. Melvin Gordon though,
Or just quick,
yeah,
or we're gonna say just
yeah, go
quick
ahead.
shout out to the Denver quarterback, an absolute nobody. If you tell me that you've heard of this guy before, I'm gonna call you a liar
Nope,
because nobody has.
nope.
So, not even you specifically, anyone. Just, but this guy he's something. I don't know what yet, but like he's something.
Mm-hmm.
He's at least an okay quarterback for a game. We'll take it. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens next.
I mean, like I said, that's why I was saying, like, his numbers look good up to the 3 picks, but I mean, you know, him throwing 3 picks. I mean, let's face it, there's been worse. I mean, do I have to say the name Peterman to anybody from Buffalo? I'm just saying, like the fact that he threw 3 picks the whole game and he barely even like just got notified last week, like, hey, by the way, you're starting next week against the Jets. I mean, sorry, what? um, So I mean, like, good way to have a win. I mean, the 3 picks are there, but still, he had a win. Melvin Gordon helped step up too, 23, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, and pretty much like I said, this was an all Denver game. Besides the defense, where you had the Jets doing what they can on defense. Pierre Desir with 2 interceptions and one for a touchdown. Well done to him, like doing what he can for his team, but just no help on offense whatsoever. All right. Next up, we got the. Okay, let me try that again.
Bears.
Bears versus the Colts. Which, if
Oh.
You got to look at this game right here, the Bears versus the Colts. It was a bit of a it was a bit of a slow game. Not gonna lie.
A very slow game. It was a big sad for me.
Yeah,
You know, Nick Foles did have a not great game. I mean,
wasn't
not bad. Touchdown, an interception, only one sack, but you know, I mean, better than Philip Rivers, I have to say.
yeah.
Other than that interception,
And that interception probably is the only. This probably was the difference maker for them to why they lost this game. Honestly, because I'm looking at both sides and their running game. So Chicago rushing had 16 for 28 yards, nothing going on whatsoever. That's ridiculously sad. And you look at the Indianapolis rushing in total with everybody had 103 yards with 38 rushing. So, I mean, not like that's like very much better, but at least they reached the century mark. Whereas Chicago rushing couldn't reach 30 yards total. I mean, that's you gotta have more yards than that. You gotta get the ball downfield. Um, Nick Foles hit his favorite target and Allen Robinson many a times for a touchdown as well. And Roquan Smith over here had a freaking phenomenal game. 13 total tackles, 10 solo, and he had 3 tackles for losses. I mean, he just got in the backfield, made sure that they knew he was coming. And
oh yeah, he made his presence known.
mm-hmm. And I'm looking down here, so this is probably what also helped win the game for them. Chicago had to punt the balls out of 8 possessions. Chicago punted the ball 7 times with 1 field goal, whereas Indianapolis, out of 9 possessions, had 5 punts on 4 field goals. So it just showed that the Colts were able to get into the Bears' territory more than the Bears were able to get into their territory, and that's again a big deal. You need to get downfield. You need to get into the at least their other side of the 50. You gotta get the ball going.
Well, I'm looking for a bounce back next week.
Bounce back.
See what happens.
So overall for that game, just like I said, just nothing much going on. But you know, both teams need to, especially the quarterbacks, need to move the ball more, get that ball downfield, stop dumping off, get that shit downfield to your guys. They can do stuff. All right. Next up, we have the Jaguars and Bengals, where the Bengals finally winning the game with Joe Burrow, Joseph Burrow, the, the man himself. 25-36, 300
Joe
yards.
Burrow.
Even though he only had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, he still got the win in this one. Gardner Minshew,
Yeah,
though, I
yeah,
have
I
to
know.
throw, I have to throw credit his way. 27-40, 451 yards, 2 touchdown, 1 interception. Go. Sorry.
Oh no, 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 you're good. Yeah, no, I just want to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Joe Burrow for his first NFL win. It just that's a big thing. Good for him.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
don't have
yes.
one of those.
And you know why? You want to know why he has a first NFL win? And you want to know what happened to get him his first NFL win? Joe fucking Mixon. Thank you. 3 weeks of telling this shit. 3 fucking weeks I've been saying, Joe Mixon, run the ball. Joe Mixon, run the ball. Joe Mixon, run the ball. This dude was getting 14 carries for 49 yards when we were talking about this shit. And I was getting so irritated because poor Joe Burrow was just light. Like, he threw for 61 passes in one game before, and Joe Mixon couldn't get over 50 yards rushing. Today, or sorry, not today, this weekend was different though. Joe Mixon, 25 carries for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mixon stepped up royally and needed it, and it was very much necessary.
And maybe that's what they were missing the whole time. I
That's
mean,
exactly
maybe
what
they
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
have a tie if Mixon would have stepped up. Yeah.
120%.
Oh,
That's
I know.
exactly what I was saying. And Joe Mixon was their only touchdown receiving, 6 of 30 catching, with 1 touchdown for reception touchdown. So he actually had a total of 3 touchdowns and was pretty much all over the field as an offensive player, which I mean, I'm not saying he has to do the receiving much as much, but definitely the rushing. If you're going to be a $12 million guy, those are the numbers I kind of expect. I'm just saying. And pretty much the defense stepped up on both sides, getting an interception each. And yeah, it looks like for the most part everything else was on point. Just I would say the reason why Cincy won, running game stepped up. Jacksonville did not have that going on for them. Oh, excuse me.
You need to have your coffee, sir.
Oh yeah, I'm just stretching
We
too.
got live.
Oh, I am live and I'm good. I'm just stretching because my back was like, hey, I need a crack real quick. Let's go. All right, next one we got Browns, Cowboys. Holy shit. You know what? Go ahead. I'm going to let you talk first, Chief, because I'm about to go off. Go ahead.
I just like I know a lot of people don't say it. They're real close to attack it, but I'm gonna be that sympathetic guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Dak. Just poor Dak.
Understandable, too.
Like he's trying his goddamn hardest. Like 502 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, yes, he got 3 sacks, but not necessarily his fault.
That
Well,
was O
that whole
line
line
issue.
crumbles apart on him. Exactly.
And as far as for staying on the
So
Cowboys side, because I need to stay on this side for a second. I mean, Ezekiel, 12 rushes for 54 yards, no touchdowns. And, just not moving the ball at all on his side. Yeah, Tony Pollard get a touchdown for them in the end zone, 3 for 16 rushes for a touchdown. That's great and all, but yeah, like the fact that Ezekiel's not running the ball at all for barely over half a century mark, barely over like 50 yards. That's not going to do it, especially for somebody like Ezekiel who has that. Pretty sure he has that contract, right?
I think Ezekiel got paid.
Yeah, he definitely needs to start showing it too, for sure. Because over on the other side, in Cleveland, I thought all they had was Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, though, he's injured right now, not looking so good. But freaking Odell Beckham stepped up, 2 carries, 73 yards, with 1 touchdown. When she's a receiver, and that's just
In these
insane to
parts,
see.
Ford
Hello, what
honors
are
the
you
brave
doing?
ones.
Freaking ads. I'm sorry about that, guys. Odell Beckham, though, just out of nowhere decided he wanted to be a rusher too. And the Ernest Johnston, no one knows who the hell he is, came out of nowhere in the third string back, 1395 yards. Jesus, like I don't know what's going on with Cleveland, but they have like the ideal, the dream team of running backs right now. With those three, with Odell, or I'm sorry, Odell's a receiver. Get the hell out of there. With the Ernest Johnson, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, freaking ridiculous. And like, as you said, their Chiefs just kind of bring up what you were saying. Amari Cooper, 12 catches, 134 yards, touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, tight end, stepping up as a backup tight end to Jarwin, just playing his heart out. 4 catches, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Just Dak is on he was on dimes to these guys, just on point with everybody. That rushing game, I think, is really what held back. Though they need to get that going. Like that really is a huge deal. And the fact they lost 2 fumbles to the Cleveland Browns, so that was 2 extra turnovers. They did not need to give up to the with the interception as well. So yeah, 3 total turnovers to the Browns and no running game. Definitely could see how that lost them this game. Absolutely, 100%. And now I won't. Boo, screw the pound. Yeah. I understand. I know that's how you feel. Now, this is what I want to talk about with the Cowboy, or not the Cowboys. Sorry, Dak Prescott. I do want to say though, I was, I definitely am wrong about him. He has 1,600, almost 1,700 yards, 1,690 yards on the season. That's 4 weeks in. That means that next week he could get to 2,000 yards in week 5, which would average him at about 400 yards a game. That's insane. Like he is on point with his passing, and he has no help at all from his running system. He should be like they should be a 4-0 team with the way he's been passing, with the way he's been playing, and the fact that they are what is it now 1-3 or something like that? Yeah, 1-3. that I just I'm goodness. That's just like I'm looking at Ezekiel like, dude, like what are we paying you for? Like I'd be like, start if I'm
He
GM.
is.
I'm
Um,
I'm looking at trading this guy. I'm looking at getting some draft picks. Like let's start looking to the draft for running backs.
I said Dak Prescott has had 3 consecutive games of over 450 yards.
Jeez. And see, that's the kind of quarterback that's needed. That's what you want from your quarterback. You want that production. Then I mean, like Dak's proven it. Whereas on the other side, this is what I'm trying to get to. Freaking okay, you got the Browns. You got a great freaking team in the Browns. You got, like I said, the running back system of the gods for the Browns right now. With Ernest Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, all just looking like freaking like they got like they're shining bright. Okay, they are just like like ridiculous. And then you got your receivers like Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, big names. Freaking Jarvis Landry said, "Hey, by the way, I can also throw the ball 1 for 1, 37 yards to a touchdown to Odell Beckham. Ridiculous." And he also caught a few passes himself. And Odell Beckham ran the ball, caught the ball, everything for a touchdown today. And their defense, like I said, 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception for the Browns. Ridiculous. All of this is phenomenal, phenomenal for this team. What has been the main issue though the Browns have been going through this entire like 2 decades that they've been around? What's been the main issue though? If you know, Chief.
They just stink. It's just that they stink. The
let,
Browns, like, they're just cursed.
let me try again. What? No, the main issue is that they've changed their quarterbacks like often.
Yeah.
Every year they've had never had.
Something is always changing.
Well, they especially their quarterbacks. Like if you look at how many like all the years they've had different quarterbacks, it's been like I think like 28 different starters in the last like
I mean,
6
look at.
years.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't put full blame on Baker even. Like Baker's had 3 different head coaches since he's been there.
And I'm not trying to put the whole blame on Baker. I'm looking at the stats though of 19 for 30, 165 yards. I mean, yeah, you got 2 touchdowns, but I mean, I'm looking at it like, dude, you're not doing anything. Like I'm not saying he
He's
hasn't.
probably had to learn three entirely new schemes in the
You
last
can, in which I
what
understand learning new
three
schemes is
four
difficult,
years.
but I mean, for the most part, they all have the same kind of generic scheme to them of which and I mean, like, yes, it is still difficult because you have to pretty much reset your mind every year to learn what the new coach is going to say or what anything like that. I understand that, but I'm also looking at like dude, like I mean, let me just go to this like how much he has this year for the Browns. This year in 4 games, Baker has 729 yards, which is 28th. He has 7 touchdowns, which is about mid tier. 2 interceptions, which is still okay, but he has a 73.8 QBR, so he's like one of the lower tiers on the quarterback rating scale. But it's like he's really not producing for this offense, which again I'm saying it looks like they can produce with the running backs and everything they have. But it's like when it comes to crunch time and they need to look at him to make plays and stuff, is he really going to make plays or is he going to choke? And that's where I think that regular season wise, they're going to look fantastic. They're going to be great, and it's awesome for them. But if they need him to step up and actually make a pass, is he going to be able to do that? That's the issue that I'm having though, because you know otherwise, they're going to be stuck. Like especially when they reach the playoffs and then they face a team with a decent O line or D line that stops the run. Then what? Then what are you going to do to move the ball? Because that's the way I'm looking at it as a like from like the stats and viewing wise for myself is that I'm not saying the quarterback has to get 400 yards a game or anything like that, but ideally I like to see him at least get like 200, 250 yards a game just so that he can. I know he's moving the ball
In these
himself.
parts, Ford honors
Okay,
the brave
all
ones.
right.
Our wagons may have changed,
You,
but their spirit lives on.
these dear ass, I'm so sorry.
For a limited time, get a new
Go
Ford
away.
Escape Edge or Explorer with 0%
All right. Anyway, that's all I'm saying on that end. And like I said, the Browns, fantastic team. Love what they're doing. Love the way they look this year. The only, and I feel bad even like just saying it because I know they've had such a great year. I feel like Baker just is not the answer. And like right now, yeah, that's just how I feel. I know a lot of people would hate that because they're like, well, they're winning, so why does it matter? It's gonna matter when crunch time happens. That's all I'm saying.
It will matter in crunch time.
Yeah,
But they might not be even getting to a point where they need crunch time.
maybe, maybe you're right. I mean, with the way the defense plays, shit. Like, I mean, they might just have it so that they can just run the ball in, have defense stop them, turn them all over. I mean, shoot, like it might be like the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning all over again, where he got like, I mean, he had an okay year, but for the most part, he was carried the Super Bowl by the weight of that defense that they had for Denver. Who was it they played the Super Bowl that year? Not the one against the Seahawks, obviously, but the one they won. They freaking like that defense dismantled the other team. I just can't remember who they were. But either way, like I said, it could happen this year for the Browns. I'm looking at like running game and the defense is gonna carry that team to the Super Bowl if they go if they go. All right, sorry, got caught talking about that. Next one we have is the Saints and Lions. I mean,
Um, they had us in the first quarter, not gonna lie. Was a little nervous about that one. I was like, are the Lions really about to do this? And then 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. All right.
just kidding. Moving on, guys.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it was 14-7, like you said. Lions had the lead, and Matt Patricia, you know, he's a one quarter man because he was like 14-7. He goes, all right, pack the bags, boys. We're going home. Sir, that was only the first quarter. Shit. And so here comes the Saints, 21 points, and pretty much that was all she wrote. After halftime, uh, the Lions did try to get a score, but so did the Saints, and then you got one more score in the fourth quarter, and 35-29 later, Saints come out on top, which honestly, like I said, I mean, the Lions aren't that bad. I mean, yeah, Stafford had a not so great game. I mean, he looked pretty decent because he had 17-31, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw a pick and he had 3 sacks. But again, it's not that they were bad stats. They're just, you know, need that little extra from, if not from him, then, you know, definitely the running backs where 11 for 36, well, 3 yards to carry from Peterson is definitely not helping the team at all. We have Kamara and Latavius Murray on the other side. 1983, 1 touchdown, 1464, 2 touchdowns. So definitely a difference in running system. Um, and then Drew Brees, I mean, had an
Yeah,
okay
absolutely.
game, didn't do anything. Sorry, my bad.
Well,
Um,
I feel like I'm gonna say exact or like literally what you were just saying. I feel like Drew Brees is your Drew Brees is your standard. Like he is what you want. If you can get a little bit higher than that, awesome, but you don't necessarily want to go lower.
mhm.
19 for 25, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, we'll take it, and 2 sacks. Not a terrible night. Not a great night, but like I said, I feel like he is a standard. If you can do that every week, I think you'll have an okay season.
And I absolutely 100% agree. And that's where, like Lee said, as with him as a standard, um, just last time going back to Baker, like, you know, you look at Baker's numbers, and like I said, it looks okay. You know, you have the completions there, you have the touchdowns there to a point, but the yardage, I mean, the reason why the yardage scares me is because, like I said, if I'm in a 2 minute drill and I got, you know, I'm down my own 10 or 20 yard line, am I going to look at trying to get freaking uh, Baker downfield? Or am I going to look at Baker as my quarterback to give me 90 yards to score a touchdown after a 160-yard performance? No, not at all. Because that means that over 4 quarters,
Yeah, no.
he's averaging only like 40 yards a freaking quarter. So, you know, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just gr- saying basically what you were saying as well.
Yeah. I apologize. I just like I said, like your input as well, because I know you have like you say with this Drew Brees being the standard. I was like, perfect. You're absolutely right, 100%. That's why I like that you were saying that because that exactly is true. And then that's why when people say why I don't understand why like Baker's doing well, it's like he's doing okay. He's not getting the ball downfield. Like I mean, that's like saying like oh if I go 30 for 35 with 3 touchdowns, that's all that people are gonna look at. But then they're gonna be like, well, wait, how do you get 150 yards only? Like how do you only get that much? Because I was throwing 2 yard dump offs, 3 yard dump offs,
Yeah,
and that's not a quarterback. That's your last choice, And a lot of these, and like I said, for Baker or even Sam Darnold, and the reason why I don't, I feel like Sam Darnold's not the answer is because that's like his main go-to is to dump the ball off. It's like you don't want to dump the ball if you want push downfield. You want to make those risky throws, like the interception. Fuck it, that was a great play by the defensive back, but you want to be, you know, like I mean, it's like the whole analogy I'll say once, I'll say it a million times. Brett Favre had the most touchdowns in a career, had the most interceptions in a career. I mean, obviously he got beaten for the touchdowns, but I mean, I'm just saying, most touchdowns in a career, had the most interceptions. Babe Ruth had the most home runs in a career for a little bit, had the most strikeouts in the career. It's gonna happen, so gotta take a risk. And with the Saints and Lions games, like I said, main thing there, going back to that, I would say is definitely the rushing defense or the rushing difference with 3 touchdowns from the Saints and one from the Lions. Definitely, you step up your rushing game if you're gonna, you know, like to move forward, if you will. And also, well, I guess actually fumbling the ball is okay because yeah, pretty much everything else is pretty much the same. I would say just like I said, just that where you need to move the ball downfield to make sure your running game is on top of it. That's basically all that happened there.
I just I don't think it was. Here's the thing. I mean, I know the Lions are they're trying to build themselves back up, but I don't think it was the greatest game for Saints defense at all. I mean, they let the Lions score 29 points on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
You
defense
know, and
definitely give up a little way too much. Like, yeah, I mean, and that should be something that the Saints should be looking at and worry about because, again, even though you have a great team on offense, if your defense can't make the stops, especially against a team like the Lions, who you know they're I know they're a decent team, but they're not they're still got their struggles. You're gonna let them score 29 points. I mean, what's gonna happen when you play a phenomenal team, something like that, or especially a division rivals, the Packers? I mean, you're the Lions. You're gonna face the Packers. You better expect that 42-21 blowout again.
they will get slapped around again.
Again. And all right, moving on from there, we got the Seahawks versus the Dolphins, where you know closer game than I imagined. Honestly, I was expecting the Seahawks to get about the points they got, but honestly, I was not expecting Miami to get more than like maybe 13 or 16. Like not than 23 though, not at all. But you know, they definitely did not. Like I definitely will say though that whatever has happened did not come from their offense with uh Ryan Fitzmagic having 29 45, 315 yards, which looks good, but then he threw 2 picks and no touchdowns, which again, big deal right there because you can have all the yardage, all the completions, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not scoring and you're giving the ball up.
Just a lot of field goals from Miami.
Yes,
So
sir.
it was.
Yes, sir. 5 field goals, all hit from Jason Sanders. So at least Jason Sanders has a chance at the Pro Bowl this year. That's a good sign. Like, I wish you luck there, Jason. I'll make sure I put in the vote for you. but
Great day for the brand.
and what was it? Today's the defense stepped up for both sides. Okay, so, like nothing too big, nothing too crazy. Bobby had 12 total tackles, 10 solo. One of my favorite linebackers to watch, honestly, and that is why. Um, DK Metcalf, David Moore stepped up and had some big yardage gains. And Devontae Parker, their number one target in Miami, stepped up hugely with 110 yards. Unfortunately, like I said, no touchdowns thrown, but Devontae did what he could to move the ball downfield too with his catches. And once again, you got to have more team though. We have more there for them. So all in all, just quiet game for Russell Wilson. Even 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. But you know what? It was one of those games where we expected the win. It happened, but nothing too crazy going on. You know,
Yeah, what we expected. A good football game.
exactly. And next up, interesting scoring here from the Bucks and the Chargers. Pretty close game all around, but Tommy Brady stepping up, really stepping up.
Right, that is the Brady that we were scared of in New England. I mean, as not a New England fan.
And absolutely 100%
Like,
agree. But
that is the Brady that will forever strike fear into people. Like, that was the GOAT playing on Sunday.
and for all those wondering what we're talking about, 30 for 46, Tom Brady went with 369 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I mean, like if I saw that for New England Patriots, Tom Brady, like I said, I'd be like, oh, okay, so that was been like a big just one of the regular games from like a couple years ago, but today with him on a new team like the Bucks, I mean, it's like I've been telling people since the start of this year when people were like, oh, Brady lost his first game to the Saints and he didn't look good. He's not gonna do good against he's not gonna be a good quarter or he's just not gonna do well with a new team. Dude, like this is week 4, so this is technically, if you want to look at it comparatively to the regular season, this is preseason week 4
I
because
was gonna say, does Brady even play in the preseason? I don't even think so. I don't even think they let him play in the preseason.
I thought he did for at least like just to. I mean, I thought he did a little bit, but just to
I
get
mean,
this
maybe yeah, okay, like maybe like a quarter or something, but
right.
not
He doesn't play full games, but at least
barely anything.
they have that experience for him. Like during those 4 games to really go in for at least a quarter to be like, okay, who do I have? Let's try this play. Let's try that play. Because it's not going to matter at the end. So they can start the season off correctly, if you will. And then you come through to
Yeah,
Tampa Bay, and unfortunately, the way that this year went with COVID and everything, they're like, "Hey, you get your spring season training done, and then like a week or two later, we're gonna start the season." And so a lot of players were like, you know, they're still learning their system. They were still studying by the time they got to the first game, and then first game rolls around, and it's like, why did Mike Evans go this way when he's supposed to go that way? And it's just now he's on point though. Now he's on the same page as his wide receivers, and that's where that shows right there. And hey, you know what? Even though Tommy had a great game, and we talked about him quite a bit. Herbert, rookie on the other side. I mean, shoot, stepped up huge for his team. I mean, 20 for 25, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, kid played phenomenally. I mean, if they put Tyrod Taylor,
he
I'd
had
be
an
shocked.
amazing game.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. He had a great game.
I mean, that's definitely going to be a weird spot because I mean, it's not like Tyrod Taylor was taken out
No, he had a
more as
injury,
he was
a self
taken out by the doctor.
a self personnel injury, if you will. Freaking a. I mean, I don't know, like unless it was Herbert behind the doctor's mask, like oh, oops, I moved the mask, punctured your lung. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's how it works. So yeah, I think that definitely Herbert's proven himself as a great quarterback, but like you said, what do you do when Tyra comes back as a coach? Like that's going to be a difficult situation for him because, I mean, if you're Tyrod, I would be pretty much expecting to be told you're going to be benched. That'd be my like. I'd be showing up being like, I get it, coach. I'm benched. I'm there. No problem. I mean, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, see, that's when I would turn around and be like, yeah, no. Like, like, no, I didn't mess up. I got punctured in the lung.
yeah, true.
I want my job back.
And that's where it's probably going to go, and it's going to be interesting situation for them. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a fight. Um, and then also, so looking at the rushing numbers, Ronald Jones, 20 for 111 yards, stepped up hugely for the Buccaneers as a running back. Whereas on the Chargers side, absolutely zero running game. Herbert had the most yards at 14 yards, 5 carries, 14 yards. Eckler, 2 for 12. Jackson, 6 for 9. Kelly, 9 for 7. He had 23 total rushes for 46 yards, which is exactly 2 yards a carry. Absolutely dreadful. That's a whole game. You're only rushing 2 yards a carry for 23 times. Nope. 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 That's terrible. And just moving on down here. One fumble lost as well to the Buccaneers, so that's another turnover there for them. And yeah, pretty much I would say that's the main thing that lost it for them was the running game, and yeah, just the running game needed to step up, and then that was pretty much it. Otherwise, great game for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Herbert still great game for him. Just like I said, just the team kind of wasn't behind him. All right, next one is for my buddy here, Mr. Chief. Baltimore
Say,
31, Washington 17.
no, it was nice to see my team come back. I mean, granted, it was over Washington, but it was still nice for them to get back in the swing of things. We were a little disheveled
Mm-hmm.
after our Kansas City loss.
Uh,
Like they smacked us around a little bit.
absolutely. Excuse my gun. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, like it just was like crazy to see how they played against the Chiefs. Not because they're like it was their fault at all. It's just the Chiefs. They just had their number. I mean, it was like
They're the
saying,
Chiefs.
yeah. I mean, it's Andy Reid. It's the Chiefs. I mean, he probably read Jim Harbaugh like just belayed the entire team. I mean, it wasn't Lamar couldn't do anything. He really couldn't get out of the pocket or anything. It was the D line had him covered, and then the what's his name Mahomes on the other side was like, hey, I got this. And so for the Washington side though of things, because Baltimore stepped up, had a great game. Lamar Jackson ran the ball for a touchdown. Mark Ingram had a small amount of yards, but ran the ball in for a touchdown. Um, just all around, like both sides, that same amount of touchdowns for rushing, but Baltimore had more yards, so that probably helped them get closer to the end zone for passing wise. And Dwayne Haskins, I mean, 32 45, 314 yards, great completion percentage, and great, numbers there. But yeah, no,
Not good enough.
but no touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, like, what are you doing then at that point? Are you like just like starting at your own 10 every time? Get down to their 10 and then just say, whoops, here you go. Whoops, here you go. Like, I just don't get it. Um,
Well, maybe he'll learn his lesson on the bench next week.
yep. And as my buddy said, yep, he is. We're gonna be seeing Kyle Allen next week for the Washington team. Which, if you guys don't remember, he was the Panthers quarterback when Cam Newton went out, and that was definitely a interesting situation, if we will. What up there, Clip King? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is up, buddy? Welcome to the show. Football chat here with Jet City and Chief. We are just talking about the Washington
Hello.
Baltimore game here right now. Talked about a few games. Feel free to let us know if you have a team that you are a fan of or how you felt about a certain game. We will definitely be talking about. We will definitely join the conversation with you. That is what we do here. We are all about that football talk, buddy. News
You're a
CG.
fan of the Jets. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shit all over you, but I will still talk.
Yes, sir. My new CGS. I I mean, pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's the. Excuse me. Sorry. You have there you go. Oh, pull my mic a little higher. Okay. You hear me now? I mean, I guess I'll turn it up. My bad. Because I was yelling before. My friend has a hearing thing, so hopefully you can hear me now. But yes, I'm new to CGS as far as for like I played the franchise mode with them. I know um Smalls, but like yeah, that's about the as far as that goes for CGS for me. Like I'm not actually a part of CGS or anything like that, as far as I know anyway. So I mean, I play franchise with them, and I have Smalls that I talk to as well. Huge Dolphins fan thought volume is way better. Okay, huge Dolphins fans. Definitely I feel like because they played Seattle this week, which was a tough tough game to play against, but they definitely stepped up. They definitely were able to keep up with them. I feel like Fitzpatrick, kind of threw the game away, and I feel like I appreciate that then, Clip. Appreciate that then. Um, I didn't even know. I appreciate that actually quite a bit. Um, but like I said, the Dolphins, I feel like they need to go with Tua. I mean, like as much as I love Fitzmagic and I love that what he does with the team, I feel like it's Tua time. He needs his chance. Um, Fitzpatrick is okay, but like Tua just needs to get in there and really like show his stuff. Um, I feel like the running system isn't there yet. Like Miami needs to get a good running system going, and then otherwise, I feel like they'll be good. Or I would say defense too. Actually, defense they need to fix their defense up a little bit too, just because you don't want to give up a lot of points like they have been the last few weeks. So, um, like I said, I would say main thing though running system and two at a time needs to be two at a time. Honestly, and we are then with the Baltimore Washington game. McLaurin had a game. Mark Andrews stepped up, got two touchdowns, and yeah, I mean everything else. Oh yeah, Bostic, 14 total tackles, six solo. Hell of a game for him. Patrick Queen also had a great game. 12 total tackles and nine solo tackles. There were three tackles for loss. Patrick Queen just what a hell of a pick. What a hell of a I'm just saying hell of a player.
Great pick. Great pick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for the follow, Clip King. I appreciate you behind the. Oh, okay. So you're the one in charge of everything. Well, thank you, Clip. Great to meet you, man. I appreciate the follow and the welcome, if you will. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. We have hurt linebackers estimation. Yeah, yeah. I can definitely. It definitely is. That definitely makes sense. Then, because I was trying to figure out. The defense was kind of like I said, giving up a little bit too much of some, and it was definitely I see linebackers being injured. Absolutely. But yeah, like I said, Miami, it's Tua time. Let's get Tua in there. I'll say once, I'll say 100 times. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate the other person coming in with the follow as well. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next game here, which was the Cardinals and Panthers. Got anything for that one there, Chief, my man?
Whatever. Cardinals Panthers. I mean, nothing really stood out too much to this game. I mean, shout out to the Panthers. You know, when they're winning it without Christian McCaffrey, Mike Davis stepping up,
Mm-hmm.
84 yards. I mean, Reggie Bonifant too, 53 yards. And, you know, between the two of them, it's about an average game for Christian McCaffrey. So they're splitting the work, but they're getting it done. So, you know, no complaints there. And they're pulling together. They're doing what they need to do. Robbie Anderson close to 100 yards. No, just
Oh yeah, no, and absolutely no, I agree 100% because Teddy and it looks like Teddy really does like Robbie over these last few weeks. He's been really hitting Robbie Anderson, and I mean Robbie's been doing what he does, and so definitely no no problems, no qualms there, if you will. And that's the other thing too is that Teddy. I mean, it's interesting numbers here: 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 reception. Good day for him. Whereas Kyler Murray, 24 for 31, 133 yards. Very small numbers, but he had 3 touchdowns. That definitely confuses the hell out of me. But I mean, you know, whatever gets the job done. Which is, I mean, unfortunately, that wasn't helpful because they needed more from their definitely from the running system because the Carolina rushing had the 1 touchdown from Mike Davis and Teddy Bridgewater as their quarterback, whereas Arizona had no touchdowns on 120 yards of rushing, and they did give up, and then Murray did drop a fumble as well that went straight to Trey Boston. So I mean, pretty much you look at the turnovers and everything, and you know, they kind of, you know, close game, but I would say the main thing will be that they didn't get down the field enough with their running system, and okay, because I'm still trying to figure out how Kyler Murray had 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's just an interesting stat.
I mean, the run game, good field position.
I mean, might as well. I mean, like, yeah, shame on Kyler. I mean, I mean, absolutely, pretty much. I mean, like he still got 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but 133 yards. I mean, that just sounds like a defense that's like you said. Like, I mean, it's probably because I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I mean, like unless those 2 turnovers were at like the 10 and 5 yard line where he was only able to get those 2 touchdowns right there, and then all of a sudden he couldn't. He drove the ball one time downfield for a touchdown. Otherwise, it sounds like they really hadn't like it was like the first quarter Carolina just went off deep end 14-0. Next thing you know, all the Arizona does is get a touchdown, 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 one for each quarter, and so yeah, I mean, just just I mean that's all I can say about it really is that Carolina just had the better team this week and stepped up, moved the ball downfield, got what they needed done, and I think the running system, like I said, was the main part of that. Uh, Interesting stats. I'm like I said, that just floors me. Holy cow! All right, we're looking at the next one here, which is the Vikings and Texans. That's the how would you say it? the the end of an era game with Bill O'Brien fired after this game. And Chief, go ahead and have you break it down for us real quick. I do apologize. I am need to use the restroom real quick, but go ahead and say what you need to. I will be right back, guys. I'm so sorry for that. I'll be right back.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's never really a great combination when you have your GMB, your offensive coordinator as well, or GMB, your head coach. It too many conflicts of interest. Just like me and Jet were talking about earlier, it doesn't work too well. As far as the coaching went, Deshaun Watson, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not a terrible game. Offensive line, letting 3 sacks through, not the best. But Will Fuller and Jordan Atkins taking a couple of catches. Kenny Stills in there for a touchdown. Yeah, gotta say, couple of big plays, but not a whole lot of receiving. I mean, same on Minnesota as well. Few big plays, not a whole lot. Only 16 catches on the day, whereas rushing, Minnesota had 40 and Houston had 26. Uh, Under 100 yards for Houston, though. Not a big day. David Johnson only rushing for 63 yards. Dalvin Cook, though, again, not not his best day on the ground, but for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's a pretty good game. Kirk Cousins, and once again, not as good as a day as Deshaun, but 260 yards and a touchdown, not terrible, you know. But on the defensive side, you know, Minnesota forcing Deshaun Watson to fumble twice, DeAndre Carter, well, David Johnson too. Uh, their defense was all over them. Houston coming in with 76 tackles. Minnesota as well. Just a good game all around. Minnesota just came out on top on this one. You have anything to add? Perfect timing.
I right. Definitely thank you for that, and definitely well, yeah, it's a good job as well for that. For me, what I see here, um, pretty much kind of like what we were talking about before with why Bill O'Brien was fired. Trading away DeAndre Hopkins, who was a very productive, very all pro, all around, pretty much a wide receiver for David Johnson, who just non-productive right now for the team. I mean, they have no rushing system right now. 26 of 96 yards, no touchdowns. Whereas on the other side, you got Dalvin Cook just stepped up again monstrously with 27, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, like you said. Just the rushing system is gone. What might be an O line issue as well again because I mean, Deshaun with 3 sacks again, and yeah, I mean that's just been. I mean, I just think it's that, or I just think in general they just needed a whole management reset because, yeah, obviously Bill O'Brien was not the answer, nor should he have had control as a GM for anything. Period. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much for Houston going forward from this one. I feel like it may not get better like as far as for their record goes, but I think it should get better for their team as far as for trying to get like kind of like the Eagles did past the Chip Kelly era, if you will. So definitely looking forward to Houston and seeing them rebuild.
Yes, definitely.
Next up we got kind of an uneventful game, but you know it was enough for the Rams to win. So Rams and Giants. I mean, I mean, you want to say it again?
Well, much like their counterpart, the Jets. Giants stink.
Giants sink. I mean, we yeah. I mean, there's nothing much we can say. I mean, unfortunately, the Giants lost their only All-Pro player with Saquon Barkley to a torn ACL out for the year. Their running backs that they have, even Devontae Freeman signing, 11 for 33, 3.3 yards a carry. Wayne Gallman, 6 for 45. I mean, just no touchdowns at all. Um, I mean, in the Los Angeles rushing didn't do anything either, but I mean, they at least got a touchdown when they needed to in the red zone. So I mean, there's that. But all around, it like it said, just uneventful game. You had Jared Goff, 25-32, 200 yards, touchdown. Didn't do much. Daniel Jones did even worse than that, 22-36, 190 yards, one interception, no touchdowns, and pretty much that's how the game went. It was just a back and forth. You also had Giants actually recover or recover a fumble. Sorry, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, to recover a fumble from the Rams, and even with that, they weren't able to do anything. So you come all the way down here to pretty much possession stats. You got out of out of 8 drives, you had 5 punts and 3 field goals from the Giants, and out of pretty much 8 drives for the Rams, you had 5 punts, 1 field goal, and 2 touchdowns. So all in all, the Giants couldn't get anything in the end zone. Had to rely on their field goals and just no offense whatsoever. I mean, pretty much my counterpart just said it as it is. And
Giants stink.
I'll say right now, like I'd say about Darnold. I mean, I want to have more faith in Jones more than Darnold, but he's just not looking like the answer. I'm not sure what happened, what's going on, if they need to get better quarterback. Oh, hey, how's it going? Sorry, that was my cousin's little one saying hi. That was adorable. um, what was it? Oh yeah, and so yeah, like I said, just the uneventful game, and Daniel Jones just not the answer right now. I just don't see it anymore. Yeah, very quiet week though. Like you were just saying, like we were just kind of talking about it. It's like yeah, some things happen here and there, but just I think the main thing we're worried about right now is just that COVID. But just, otherwise football is
COVID's got
spooked.
everyone on eggshells. We don't want to jinx it. Yep, we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to talk badly. We don't want to be too excited. We just want everyone to
Let's just take this take it.
quarantine, take it safe.
Don't
Let's
breathe.
just have our football.
Don't breathe on me. Pretty much all that good stuff. Oh, all right. And next up we have the Giants, Rams, Patriots, and Chiefs. Did they play? No, wait. Oh yeah, they did. That's right.
Yeah, they did. They played on Monday.
That's right. I remember now. Yeah, because I fully spaced they did, but I do remember because Brian Hoyer. Yes.
It's not the best,
Yeah.
I will say.
I mean, he came in. He, just it. I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find the brighter spots, but there's really nothing. I mean, 15, 24, 130
You're
yards.
trying to find the words to describe this girl without being disrespectful. Is basically.
You got me down to a T, bud. But I mean, just looking at it from any angle
In
you
these
can,
parts, Ford
and
honors
you
the
need to
brake
shut your
rules,
mouth
while
there,
wagons
Mr.
may have
Ad.
changed.
There we go. Okay.
I'll say without being overly disrespectful.
Yeah, I would just say
I
that.
wasn't impressed.
Yeah. Even with Mahomes' game, I mean, Mahomes 1929, very quiet game, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't do much. He was just
Yeah,
he was very calm.
that's right about the standard. That's that standard I was talking about. That's
Pretty much. I mean,
right in that sweet spot.
yeah, just super chill. Super like he just kind of came out, was like, let me just do my casual day job, and then just went on home, and they got the dub. I mean, it was just, and then Brian Hoyer unfortunately was trying to, come in, be a quarterback after finding out that Cam got the Rona, and it was just
Around.
the Rona. And I mean, I don't think he was ready. I mean, he just kind of was like trying to make the plays he knew how to play, and they even brought Jared Stidham in, who actually did a lot worse than Brian Hoyer did. 5, 13, 16
Yeah,
yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. But yeah, it just, and pretty much the rushing for New England took off way more than the Kansas City rushing did. So that's actually shocking because you had Damian Harris 17 of 100 yards and Rex Burkhead 1145, and Damian Harris 1700 yards. That was more than all of the Chiefs rushing combined. It was like all together was 94 yards total rushing for Chiefs, and I mean, just holy cow.
Damian Harris had a great game. He definitely stepped up with Devin White being out.
100%, which is
So
actually like insane to see. Honestly, like not saying that he's a bad player, but just insane to see like how he ran the ball so well, and yet his team 26-10 loss. I mean, that's where I'm trying to see. I mean, you have New England fumbled and lost the ball to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs also did the same. So it was a you know, one for one takeaways. Um, yeah,
No, I feel like, and this isn't in a bad way, but I feel like it was the Chiefs sleeping on, um, just sleeping on the Patriots a little bit that even got the Patriots the yards that they got. I didn't see anything, I mean, other than Damian Harris, but no, like, nobody really expected it out of Damian Harris, like, especially not that big 41 yarder he had. Like, that was, that was almost half his yards right there was one big play, so. It was nobody really expected it. So I think the Chiefs themselves were kind of laid back and all right, well, we don't got to give 100%. Oh, crap, they just ran a 41 yarder off on us. Okay, maybe we got to pay a little bit more attention now.
yeah, and I agree with that because so far I'm looking at how the Chiefs pretty much ran it up on them, and you had the two touchdowns from Mahomes, and then you had a pick six for Tyron Matthew. So already right there's your three touchdowns, and then the rest was just Harrison Butker kicking field goals. So for me, it looks like Chiefs hit the two field goals in the first quarter, and then pretty much after the halftime, they came out and said, okay, we need to stop screwing around. We're tied 6-3, or we're only up by 6-3. We need to start playing some football and just walloped the Patriots, unfortunately. All right. And next up here, last or not last year, just kidding. Bills
One
and
more.
Raiders though, in which like you said, I was wrong. I love my Bills as far as like I'm not a Bills fan, but I've been loving the Bills all year. But in this one, I said, you know what, Derek Carr looks good. Their defense is stout. Maybe the Raiders have a chance to win this one. I was wrong. The Bills came in and said bet and just beat them by one touchdown. So it wasn't a blowout, but it was a good game. It was a good, hard fought game for both sides.
It was definitely a good game. I was nervous a couple of times, but Bills came back. Josh Allen. Um, like I said, I'm liking Josh Allen MVP year for the year.
Agreed.
Watch him.
Agreed. Like I feel like if we had to name top three, just because again I like to have like I don't like to just name one guy. I like to name top three. I would say right now we're looking at definitely Russ Wilson, Josh Allen, and oh, the last one actually I was gonna say Dak Prescott to a point, but I'm also looking at Dak like his team's 1 for 3. So I mean he is playing a hell of a game for his team, but you know it, it's just difficult to name him MVP when I don't know. I guess I still put him over MVP though because he has the most passing yards in the league right now. He's got the touchdowns. He's still getting downfield. It's just that his team is just not supporting him. That's the issue.
Yeah, I think, but I mean that's also in a most valuable player situation. Should we even consider the team? Because we're not
True.
looking at most valuable team. We're looking at player. I
The
mean,
player
if
for the team, right?
if the defense is allowing 1 yard or one play 75-yard touchdowns every single drive, like what is Dak supposed to do? Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, he can only do much. He can only do so much by himself. So I personally would definitely keep Dak up in that top three. But other than that, I agree with you completely.
Yeah, it's just yeah, and it's tough, and because like, I just it's more of this thing like I'm not even like saying he shouldn't be in the picture because he definitely should be. It's more of like a feel bad kind of thing because he is busting his butt there. I mean, because and everyone's giving so much shit. Even we were giving him shit because he just was holding out for that contract for so long. So it's like, oh, okay, you're just in it for the money. We don't like all you're gonna do is just be sloppy and all this other crap. And then he comes out this year and just slinging the ball like to Mari Cooper to Gallup to Jarwin, who then got injured, to Schultz, and Schultz is looking fantastic. You got this like you just got this amazing passing game going, and now you're looking at Zeke like, bro, he's stepping the hell up. Where are you at? And then Zeke is just like, you think he got lost on his planet somewhere. I mean, I think he went home to visit and got lost or something. Still on the hunt.
I'm over here.
he's he's still on the hunt with his family. I can't remember what they're called. I was trying to remember what they were called the whole time. What are they called again, Chief?
Wait, what?
Ezekiel Elliott's family.
Oh, the
The
Ewoks.
Ewoks. Still out hunting with his Ewok family.
Hey man, they had to rebuild their whole planet after the Empire came, so you can cut them some slack. That takes a little while.
Oh man. And then looking at the rushing game for both sides, just nothing going on for either side except for Buffalo did have 2 touchdowns, which is funny because Josh Allen ran one in for a touchdown, but he also went 3 for -1 yard. So interesting stats: 3 for -1 yards and still had a touchdown. That's just okay. That's intriguing. Um, Moving on from there, and the same thing with the Raiders, just had a few more yards but no touchdowns. Um, Receiving wise, Stephon Diggs still stepping up for the freaking Buffalo Bills, just looking just phenomenal. Just like one of the best signings the Bills could have ever gotten, and like it blows my mind how well him and Josh Allen are just like on par with each other. And then Darren Waller, same thing. I mean, he's been stepping up even though he's a tight end, he's been Derek Carr's favorite target there for the last like few weeks of just stepping up and making great plays. And kudos to him for saying, "Hey, I'm still here. I got you." Um, you know, uh, Buffalo recovered 2 fumbles that the Vegas lost, and so that's a huge deal. Um, yeah, I mean, let me just go ahead and move on from all that. Tackle wise, Tremaine Edmonds looked good, and yeah, I mean, besides all that, I would say the main things of this game would be the rushing end zone. Like you need to get the ball in the end zone. That's what Bills did over the Raiders, and the Raiders gave up 2 fumbles, including was there an interception? No, but they gave up 2 fumbles, which probably also helped the Bills get the more leads. So definitely hold the ball more for the Raiders, and that's about it. Pretty much, that's all I got for this game. Honestly, Josh Allen still looks nice.
Yeah, yeah. Josh Allen looks nice, and I'm in with the Bills Mafia for the year.
Mm,
I think they got a nice looking team, and I think if they continue to play how they've been playing, we could see some danger coming out of New York.
100%.
I mean, there's got to be some talent in New York. I mean, these
they all
other 2 teams are 0-4.
they all merged. They all said, they all went to the city life here in the city life. They got pissed off and said, "Fuck this shit." Went to Buffalo, and so Buffalo's now like, "Hey, we're looking really good right now," and everyone in New York City's going, "Oh, the Bills are looking good." All right, and so they're all traveling cross country to watch a Bills game. Where would you rank Bills in the AFC right now? I would rank them number one, honestly. Well, against the Chiefs. Ooh, that's a good question there. Thank you, Rigged. Ooh, against the Chiefs, Bills or Chiefs. Oh man, I gotta number two. I gotta stay with the Chiefs on that one, just because as much as I love the Josh Allen Stephon Diggs duo, you got Mahomes. He's got targets on targets. He's got McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey. I mean, there's probably somebody else. Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, the Chiefs are still. It's tough to go against the Chiefs like that. But man, Josh Allen does, and the Bills do look really good. Could rank your top five AFC teams. Absolutely. Number one, Chiefs.
Ooh,
Number two,
no.
and you might fight with me on this one. Uh, Bills. Number three, Ravens.
I,
Number
w- I would
Good.
I would argue, maybe not successfully, but I would argue swapping your 2 and 3. But I will semi agree.
I mean that, and I understand that. I knew that was coming because, um, it is
And
it,
that's and
it's a
that's
tough
that's
one.
purely out of being biased.
Yeah, and honestly, it is a tough one to see because, like, like Lamar and the Ravens are still a good team even after last week's, game against the Chiefs. They still are a good team. It's just that they were not prepared for. I think Lamar was kind of blindsided by that D line, that really tough D line from the Chiefs. But so we had number one Chiefs, then number two Bills, number three Ravens. And for Chief, it'd be number one Chiefs, number two Ravens, number three Bills. Number four, I would put the Steelers right now, just because Big Ben's looking like he's still trying to be sharp. He's still sharp. He's still making his passes. Still doing to get his throws down. Um, he looks like he's towards the end of his career, but he's still making the plays he needs to get through the year. So I still think that he's They're number four. Number five. Oof. Look at the choices here. If you have one, just go ahead and say it. Oh, Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders on that one because, yeah, I mean Derek Carr looks good. That defense looks actually pretty stout on the Raiders. Um, I would say, yeah, they're probably a number five team, for me. What about you, Chief? Four and five.
Hmm. Second. The AFC.
Yeah, that's tough. That was
I like Kansas
a tough
City.
one.
I like Kansas City at one. Baltimore, then Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, me.
No, yeah, totally.
I do see the Tennessee Titans still potentially being a threat. I mean, if they can get healthy off of COVID, then I think it is still a good season for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna have to go Titans at 4, and then Raiders at 5.
Okay. That's yeah. I totally get that. Ooh, that is an interesting rating system for him. He says I would rate the Kansas City. So in order, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee. The Raiders are last against the run. Hmm.
Okay.
Did not know that, but that's interesting to hear though, because yeah, Raiders seem like they had their team together, but they're last against the run. They're last against the run. Jeez. Um, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Tennessee. Okay, interesting choice. Pittsburgh number two, but I could see it. I mean, Pittsburgh still, you know, like I said, they've been playing decently. Okay, yeah, that's definitely interesting. Yeah, I like it. I like it though because that's like I said. That's why I like the NFL because, you know, I like to see people who put their ranks down. And, it's like like you said, you asked me mine, and you put yours, and I understand why you put yours. And the Raiders are in the top five because I didn't know they were last against the run like that. I knew that they had a stout defense against like the pass for sure, but yeah, I didn't see them much against the run. Um,
Uh,
and I would say the Chargers, like I said, like the Chargers would have been my other pick for number five because Herbert's been doing really well with them. They have no running game at all, though. That's the only problem, though. That's why I didn't choose them. Um, yeah, interesting choices, though. I like it. I like it. Um, yeah. All right. Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. Um, back to the games we got here. We got two left. One being the Eagles and Niners, where again the donut turned to a maple bar. We got a win for the Eagles over the Niners, who unfortunately are injury filled. And so, Carson Wentz didn't have that great of a game, but he got it. I mean, they got it done with him. 18-28, 193 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Did get 3 sacks. And Nick Mullins just unfortunately did not look good. 18-26, 200 yards, 70, one touchdown, two interceptions with 4 sacks. And they try to bring CJ Beathard in to kind of help divvy it up, who went 14-19, 138 yards, no touchdown or interception, but he did get sacked. Um, Moving on from that, you got the rushing game for San Francisco did just slightly better than the rushing game for Philadelphia, but not by much. Got one more touchdown than them, and the passing game for San Francisco had a lot more yards than the Eagles passing game did, but it looks like the Eagles were able to recover all the fumbles that happened, including so two of theirs and one from San Francisco for a turnover. So big deal there for them. Um, what is it? Right, there we go. And then pretty much the where is it? Interceptions. There we are. There was a return touchdown interception by Alex Singleton, which probably sealed the deal for the Eagles to win. And yeah, otherwise everything else is pretty much on point. The same thing in this one. I would just say that the Eagles just barely stood out just by probably the hair of that pick, something like that. It just was a close game. Eagles got the win, got their first win. Awesome.
Good
how
for the Eagles.
how does how does Miles Sanders look from your eye test? Miles Sanders, I still like, I feel like he is still a decent back. I just feel like the Eagles O line is really the problem right now. And I feel like I say that a lot, that the problem with the team is an O line. But you gotta look at it like I mean, just looking at the stats right there. You got 4 sacks on Wentz. You got Miles Sanders, who ran the ball, what was it, 13-46 with 0 touchdowns, and Wentz went 737 with the touchdown. So quarterbacks got decent, so they were able to get outside the pocket. But when it came to the rushing game, like they just couldn't get anything blocked, anything going. Um, and for the year, let me go and look at stats for the year. There he is. 51 attempts, 236 yards, a touchdown, and 4.6. I mean, just he's very bottom tier running back right now. I don't think that it's his fault though. Like I said, I don't think that he's to blame. I think that they need to just they really need to work on that O line in Philadelphia. They need to protect Carson Wentz better. They need to give Miles Sanders a hole to run through because he's shown he's an explosive back when he gets in the hole. It's just that if there's no hole, how is he supposed to be explosive? So and also 51 attempts over was that 4 weeks I just said. That's not many. That's not many carries over 4 weeks. That's like barely 15 yard. That's barely 15 carries a game, which is okay. It's not the greatest number though. Uh, if you own Miles
Yeah.
Sanders, do you think he can gain 100 total yards total against Pitt this week? No, I don't think he's going to get 100 yards against Pittsburgh this
Yeah.
week. You think so?
Oh no, like I was. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think so.
I just don't see it. I think Pittsburgh's got a good defensive line. They also got a decent linebacker core. What with T.J. Watt, or I think T.J. Watt might be on the defensive end now. I know he was a linebacker before, but definitely they have T.J. Watt on that defensive front. They have the oh good Stephon Tuitt. They got Hayward. It's just that whole defensive the stuffers they have are just gonna. Miles Sanders is not gonna get good yardage, and if he does, then that means that O line stepped the hell up from this week for sure. But I mean, like I said, that's an O line thing they gotta fix real quick. Otherwise, and last but not least, we got a very you know unfortunate game, if you will, coming up with uh, Monday Night Football, Packers, Falcons. You know, it yeah.
I just wanna appreciate. I don't know if you heard
Go
a
ahead.
show that that me and Jet are a big fan of, the Pat McAfee
Chad
show, Aaron
McAfee.
Rodgers Tuesdays. He's on every Tuesday talking about how he did the week before. And a nice statement that came out of that interview this week was a a down season for Aaron Rodgers is a career-making season for most other quarterbacks. And what a savage fucking statement that was to make. And it is so goddamn true. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is just if Brady didn't have the title of GOAT, it would well deservingly go to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. And don't worry, I did see your question there too, Rick. I'll answer that in a sec. Um, absolutely agree with that and the wait, hello, no, of course. And the fact that I mean, like we're looking at it, we have this week, or we have Dan Quinn still there, and the Falcons just struggling to figure out really what they're trying to do with their team, and it sucks because they do have a good team that you can see has this like from the first couple of weeks have tried scoring, but then you see him this week against the Packers, and the Packers first off ran them up 20-3 by the end of the first half, and then the Falcons try to get like 13 points in the second half, whereas the Packers kept 10 to win the game. And so, I mean, like I said, the Packers came out strong and just showed that they were going to be dominant. And Rodgers was on fire, 227 yards, 4 touchdowns, 27-33. Whereas Matt Ryan, again, 20-39, 285 yards, which is nice. No touchdowns, no interceptions, with 4 sacks, showing that A, his line is not giving him a lot of time to throw the ball, and B, he's not getting downfield like he should be to get to the end zone. And Todd Gurley, I mean, like he was getting like so when they would get down the red zone, Todd Gurley would step up and get like touchdowns. 16 57 for 2 touchdowns. I think that's a big deal. Um, what was it? On the other side though, you had Aaron Jones 1571 with no touchdowns. So I mean that's a big deal right there. That the Packers weren't able to score much for their running game, but they didn't need to. The Rodgers and Robert Tunyon, their tight end, stepped up 6 to 98 for 3 touchdowns. What a day for him. And I mean, sorry, the main thing for this game, I just think, is that I'll let you um, get the word in on this. So I think that the main thing for me on this game is that just it's about the time to find a new coach. They need someone. They need fresh legs in there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it doesn't necessarily seem to be a problem with catching. And I mean, if you look at the targets for, it's not a problem there. Maybe a little bit of work on the ground for Atlanta. I mean, Todd Gurley is doing what he can. Green Bay does have a great defense, especially good rush defense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that can contribute to, his only 57 yards. But yeah, it might be time to get somebody else in there and see what they can do because it ain't working.
And yes, I see what you mean there, Iverson. Jamal Williams ran the ball 8 for 10 yards, so it wasn't much there. But for receiving, 8 for 95 yards, he apparently was doing good as a wideout for them. So they definitely needed that. And he's getting the ball downfield, so that was really good to see for them. But yeah, that's you know, uh, definitely showing that he could it looks like he might be like an opposite of Ty Montgomery. Montgomery went from wide receiver to running back. Looks like Jamal might go from running back to wide receiver. We never know. And then back to what you were saying there, rigged, because I know you were asking about the split for Miles Sanders this week, I believe. Yeah. What do you think run pass yard split for him this week? Let me go see how he was against his. Oh crap. Let's see. So Miles Sanders 1346 last week against the Niners, and he had threw a 30. So especially going against Pittsburgh, um, I could be wrong because he could have an amazing game, but um,
In
against
these
this,
parts, Ford
yeah,
honors the
yeah, yeah.
brave
Sorry about
ones.
that,
Our
guys.
wagons may have changed, but their spirit.
Let's see. How's this? So this is rushing. How's his receiving stats so far this year? Hmm. You know, I think that he's gonna get about 75 yards rushing, like 50 to 75 yards rushing, and I think that for receiving wise, he might get about 35 to 50. I think that's gonna be his numbers this week. Like just because I mean it's gonna be against the Steelers, so I don't expect him to get a lot of yards. Like somebody like let's say Aaron Jones or Dalvin Cook has been before, but I definitely do expect him to get a good amount of runs in and still be able to do like a screen pass on the outside to be able to at least pick up some extra yards on the before going out of bounds or something. So I would say he's gonna get about 50, 75 rushing and about 35, 50 receiving yards. But
I like it.
yeah, it's just that Pittsburgh defense just depends on how they play against them. Like especially like I said with that linebacking core. I mean, I know T.J. Watt ain't gonna fuck around with Miles Sanders getting on the outside. I know that's gonna be a big thing. I mean, TJ's like his brother, and he will get back there and make sure you don't go nowhere. So I mean, that's why I respect the Chiefs. Hello, the Pittsburgh
Hello.
Steelers defense. But yeah, I just but especially with that Eagles offense looking the way it is, I don't see Sanders doing as much as he could with the Packers O line or the even the Colts O line because the Colts have a very strong O line as well, and the Cowboys too. I mean, I know a lot of people hate on the Cowboys, but their O line is fantastic, which is why when I see Ezekiel Elliott not making numbers, I'm like, what are you doing? So, all right, that was our recap though of this week of week 4. And like I said, very quiet, uneventful. It wasn't like it wasn't bad. It just was like, especially with the COVID scenario, it just made a little bit of like a scare week, if you will. Like people play their games, did what they needed to, but we're just making sure the season keeps going because otherwise, like I'd be pissed off because I'd be like, Chief, we're not talking about football. I need my football.
What is there to talk about?
What else? Our friendship means nothing without football. No, but now for week 5, I'm hoping, like I said, like with everything going on with the Titans, with the Patriots, I'm hoping they still get to play this next year, especially with the Steelers and Titans not being able to play, or sorry, not this year, next week. Um, and I'm waiting to see how they handle this week's game of Steelers and Titans, like when they're gonna decide to play that, like whether it's at the end of the year, like a wild card game or some shit. We may see it then, but definitely.
I think it's week 7 or week 8, I think.
Oh, for their bye games, or like they changed their bye week. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So they changed their bye week so that this week was their bye week, and then, like he said, next whatever it was, sorry, week 7 or week 8 is when it's going to be played. So, all right. So Ayuk, are you talking about
Right.
from the 49ers? Uh I mean, he would look better if Garoppolo was not injured. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it's hard to really. That's where it's hard to really evaluate certain receivers. Like for instance, Odell Beckham Jr. Good receiver. I mean, he proved it this last week with the running, with the catching. Jarvis Landry throwing a touchdown to him. I mean, the dude's a great wide receiver. We've known that since he was a Giant with Eli Manning. But with somebody like Baker Mayfield as quarterback, he's not looking productive because his quarterback's not productive. Same with Brandon Ayuk. You know, you got a great receiver, but if you have somebody like Mullins in there who's not hitting his targets, you know, you could be a great receiver all you want. I'm not expecting you to have to reach, 10 yards backwards though for a freaking catch though, and that's unfortunately is the situation that they have right now. If I still will look at him, let me just go ahead and wide receiver 49er and Ayuk. So this year he has 100. So far this year, Justin, like which shows, like I said, like how quiet it's been for the 49ers since Garoppolo got hurt. He has 9 catches for 109 yards. I mean, to be fair, that's like a really good game for wide receivers, and he has that for the whole season. So I mean, like I say, it's not that he's a bad receiver. It's just that they don't have that whatchamacallit. They don't have a the quarterback right now to throw to him. So, and that's why I always tell people too, especially for fantasy drafts or anything fantasy wise, like you were asking about fantasy picks and stuff. Like when you look at wide receivers, look at the quarterback, like or tight ends too, because I had to get rid of Evan Ingram because I knew that I just know Daniel Jones ain't gonna do shit for him this year. And so, whereas like if I had somebody like you know, I just picked him up too, Zacchaeus, I think is his name from Atlanta. He has Matt Ryan as quarterback. You damn right, I'm gonna pick him up, and especially with how productive he's been the last couple of weeks. So it's you got those. Russ Wilson, DK Metcalf, they've been great for me because again, you got Russ Wilson as quarterback, DK Metcalf's a bomb receiver. Good. um, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen to any of his receivers. Derek Carr ish. He's kind of iffy. Ben Roethlisberger, if you have any Pittsburgh guys, definitely I would go with that. Dallas, Dak Prescott leading the league in passing yards right now, and you got Amari Cooper, Gallup, Schultz, all doing fantastically. I mean, like I said, I can go on and on about it. All right, moving on to Here we go. So we're gonna go to
The pickums.
this one. We're going to the awards. Talk about these awards real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like what you see in Hunter Renfro? Wow, you have a list of people that I enjoy this actually. Though Hunter Renfro, he's decent. Just go take a look real quick though, because again, Renfro is in San Diego, right? If I remember correctly.
I believe so.
Oh no, it's Hunter Henry. Renfro is shit. Where's Renfro? Is he also in 49ers actually? No. God, it's gonna piss me off because I know who he is. I just can't think of where he is now. Renfro. I will find him. Hunter Henry.
Raiders.
Is he? Raiders? No.
Yep.
Is he?
Yeah. Hunter Renfro's on the Raiders.
Is he? Oh, he's a receiver. Oh shit. No, that's right. My bad. There he is. Good God. I remember. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, because I do remember seeing him. There he was. I remember him stepping up quite a bit at the beginning of this year. Sorry about that, Riggs. I remember seeing him. I thought he was a tight end. I was thinking of Hunter Henry. That's my fault. But Renfro, I remember seeing him begin this year. Like I said, he looks really good. Let's see right here. Nope, receiving. Go back to that. So yeah, beginning this year, he started off not doing much against Carolina, and then he went for 3 for 3 on 37 catches, then 6 for 9 targets on with the touchdown last week. That's right. And then this week he's so basically what it looks like, if anything. Sorry to kind of break this down, is that um you got Derek Carr seeing him a lot more over Al Galore, Brian Edwards, or Henry Ruggs as well. But you got to remember that it's like Renfro is he could be a great slot receiver, but you also got somebody like Henry Ruggs who, if he stays healthy enough, he could make some big plays for them. And right now they also have Brian Edwards stepping up for them,
Oh yeah.
making plays, and Nelson Aguilar as their main guy as well. But I definitely think Renfro will be a great, like a Wes Welker type of receiver for them, or a Tyler Lockett type of slot receiver. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you.
Okay. But but yeah, like I said, it's one of those things. Like I said, I'm like looking at all the stats from all the receivers on the Raiders, and like I said, with Renfro, he definitely has the most catches out of all of them. It's just that he doesn't get too many yards at times because he's like mostly a slot guy. But he is doing really well for catching the ball this year for sure. Actually, nice to see that though, because like yeah, it looks like I mean it's sad to see Ruggs stats. So now I'm looking at it though, because Ruggs I thought had more yards or more catches, but I forget he was injured, so he only has 4 catches for 59 yards this year.
Yeah, it's it's sad, but hey, I mean we're only 4 games in. Hopefully he busts out of his injury shell.
Right, but definitely yeah, absolutely 100% though. Okay, yeah, thank you for the questions. Like I said, like it actually helped me remember names too. Like Hunter Henry is for the Chargers, tight end. Renfro, wide receiver for the Raiders. I got that, Hunter Renfro. And like I said, I do like him. So right now we're doing our week 4 awards. So like we have 4 awards we do, which one of them's kind of I guess not really an award, but it's a nomination, whatever. We have 4 nominations. We have Offense Player of the Week, Defense Player of the Week, Rookie of the Week, and Biggest Bust of the Week, which, like I said, is not really an award, but it's a nomination. So first, we have our Offensive Player of the Week, which we went and we were trying to figure it out. We went with Dak Prescott. Um, they didn't get the win, unfortunately, but Dak Prescott went off 500 plus yards. What was it? 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns,
5 touchdowns.
five
Or
touchdowns.
no, 4 touchdowns. Sorry, Brady had 5 touchdowns.
Ah,
Dak had four.
four touchdowns, 500 yards. I mean, the dude did everything he could to get his team in the end zone. Ezekiel just did not help out whatsoever. Um, but besides that, we also had to shout out another player, Odell Beckham, because he had a great game last game of receiving the ball for touchdowns and even having the 2 carries for 73 yards for rushing. I mean, if anybody was doing really doing everything for the whole game, it would be Odell Beckham. If especially that catch from Jarvis Landry for another touchdown of his. So shout out to
Oh
Odell
yeah,
Beckham for his game, but Dak Prescott comes away with Offensive Player of the Week.
100% there.
And Defensive Player of the Week,
I mean,
we got my boy Chief here who found him and said, you know what, I like him. We're gonna take him as Defensive Player of the Week. So go ahead.
uh, I mean Rokon Smith. I mean, I think just defensively he outperformed most players, and I am blanking on what team he's on off the top of my head.
He's with the.
I've had so much sports stuff in my head today.
Oh my God, I know. Rokon Smith. He's with the. Oh, I want not the Falcons. Ah, oh my head. Yep. I can't remember. Oh, fuck.
Oh, the Bears.
The
Thank you.
Bears. That's right. With Khalil Mack and all of them. Yep.
Uh, yeah, unable to come out with the victory, but he was still doing everything he could to stop the points. And I mean, and only holding the Colts to 19 points is, still not not completely terrible for the Bears. I mean, nobody expected them to be 4-0, and so it was a slightly unsurprising loss. But I mean, I think with Roquan's efforts, not only today but in the past couple of weeks too, he's definitely helped that team be where they're at.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, honestly. Oh, come on. This, but and then I'm looking at so I also saw your question here, NBA. I'm sorry I missed it. Would you play Renfro or Ayuk this week? Let me check. Let me check what the. Let me see who they play against next week because I can tell you there. Especially with Derek Carr. Oh wait, no, there you go. I already have the answer. I would play Hunter Renfro over Ayuk only because Mullins is going to be the quarterback again next week, and I don't have faith in Mullins. I have faith in Carr. I think Carr's going to get the ball to Renfro still. I don't believe that Mullins is going to pull out like some crazy numbers with Ayuk though. Unfortunately, yeah, I would stick with the. I would definitely stick with the Renfro with the Raiders though. Excuse me. Sorry, that kind of stuck up on me. And so going back to
Oh,
this
you
now,
good?
uh, rookie of the week. Also, we got Chief here who saw this, and we'll let him talk about this one as well.
Wait, that one was. I found that one.
Michael Wanu. What's up there, Rooster? Welcome, welcome.
Oh, jeez.
I know, right? uh, sorry, we look up so many stats and stuff. We're like, wait, who? What? But yeah, Michael Wanu, you said had a great game for a rookie. If not him, then I can say
Yeah. No, it was. I remember. I just don't remember exactly what he did. Um, I mean, he did well enough for me to point him out as my offensive player of the week or rookie of the week. Am I just dumb? I might just be dumb. Hold on. Things ain't working for me right now.
It's totally fine. Like I said, I have the same issue. Sometimes mine, or we're looking up the Michael One new stats because we know we picked him for a reason. We saw the stats earlier, but like I said, we've been going through all these other game stats and stuff. It's just like, wait, why did we do that? So I would say biggest bust of the week though. I'm going to talk about that real quick. Is Dwayne Haskins. One reason why he had an okay game. Great game completion wise and yardage wise, like 25 of 35 with like 300 plus yards. Um, it was something like that, and he had a decent game like that, but he couldn't score. Like he had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. His team lost. He was not able to get his team in the end zone like he should have, and he got benched for Kyle Allen, who's going to be starting for the Washington football team, and he's down the third string now behind Alex Smith. So, um, not sure if that means he's never going to play again. I just know it means that right now they have no faith in him as a quarterback. They're bringing in a different guy, and yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. My computer's not freaking loading anything at this point. I like the auto on you. That's all that matters. He looked good. Congrats to him. Um, no, sometimes technology fails you.
yeah, I know what you mean by that.
All right, Jet. Week 5. Bucks Bears. Who you got?
Yeah, yeah, we'll just move on from there. We'll get back to that later.
While I'm finding this.
Yeah, we'll get back to that later. So, technology is a helpful bullshit. All right, Buccaneers, Bears. Oh man, because oh man, Bears are undefeated still, huh? Oh wait, no, they lost, didn't they?
No, they lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
As much as I like Nick Foles too, damn it, I gotta go with the Bucks. Tom Brady's on. He's got his team down now. I mean, I'm sorry, like people can say what they want, but like last game showed he's comfortable with his team. He knows what his team does now. He knows Mike Evans. He's good. They're ready to go. Like Buccaneers are gonna win this next game.
Um, yeah, this is my little bit of off against my better judgment play. I'm going with the Bears this week. I just I think I think they saw the potential of being in the playoffs this year, and this that loss this week is going to make them play a little bit harder.
Understandable. And honestly, I mean, I want to see Nick Foles do well. So if Nick Foles does well, I mean, I don't care if I'm wrong. I'd rather see Nick Foles actually prove that he's a good quarterback because he is a good quarterback, and I love watching him play. So we'll definitely hope him the best for the Bears. But I gotta pick the Bucks just for stats wise. Panthers versus Falcons. Oh, I'm gonna go underdog and pick the Falcons because I really, like you said, I want to see that donut become a maple bar. I want that one instead of a donut zero. Um, do I think they're gonna win? I'm not sure, but I know it's against division rivals, and let's just face it, it doesn't matter what a team's record is. Like I've seen the Seahawks be 4-12, 4-10, facing a 9-7 San Francisco team and almost beat them, or seen same thing with the um, Rams the other way, like 4-10 or something, facing the Seahawks who were like 12-2 and beat us badly too. So I mean, division rivalry is always a big fun thing to watch. That's all.
So yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Panthers on this one. I think the Falcons have been it's a little too under their skin right now. They're 0-4. They're going against the rivals. I mean, maybe they can rally behind Matt Ryan and actually get something done. Maybe Matt Ryan pulls a play at fucking old Russ Wilson's playbook, and oh yeah, my headset's broken, and starts calling some of his own plays.
Yeah, I mean honestly, with Matt Ryan, if he could do the quick audible stuff, I mean, I feel like he could drive his team downfield and score. I mean, because Matt Ryan is like, I mean, he's a hell of a quarterback for that team. He's proven that he can take that team to the Super Bowl. I feel like if he gets rid of the coach that's talking his ear, telling him what to play, and he goes, "Oh," like Chief said, like, "Oh, hey, I'm just gonna get on silent real quick and just let me just, oh, I can't hear you, coach, sorry," and then gets in there again. I'm, I expect, I expect him to win easily. Um, but that's why I'm like, I want to see Falcons win. I'm gonna predict they're gonna win, but it's mostly because like I said, division rivalry is gonna really I think it's gonna jumpstart that team to be like, okay, are we gonna lose to our division rivals? No. Ah! And speaking of division rivalry, we got another one coming up here: Bills versus Titans. I think.
All right, well, I'll go first on you went first on the last two. I'll go first on the next two. I went Bills on this one.
Okay.
I'm liking Bills Mafia. They're going undefeated right now. I'm liking it. Titans are in it, but I think Josh Allen's got a little bit more fire under his ass. He's the number 2 quarterback in the league right now, and I think he's one of those quarterbacks that still has to fight for his spot. He can't, not saying that th- this certain quarterback does, but he's not in a position like Aaron Rodgers or I mean maybe not even necessarily Tom Brady anymore. Tom Brady does have to fight. But he's not in a position like Aaron Rodgers or even Drew Brees, kind of where Drew Brees is having some shitty games, but at the end of the season, he's probably still going to be the quarterback. Unless unless he throws more interceptions than he does touchdowns, Drew Brees really has nothing to worry about. He's going to have a job next year. Josh Allen, I think he's still in that spot of, well, I I have to fight for my position. So I think he has a big enough fire under his ass that Josh Allen's going to come out on top on this one.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's how I've seen Josh Allen play this whole year, especially with the acquisition of Stephon Diggs. I'll say it once, I'll say it 100 times. I feel like Stephon Diggs has been like more than they've been bargaining for with him this year. It's like DeAndre going to Cardinals. I mean, DeAndre has been nothing but phenomenal for the Cardinals, and same with Stephon Diggs to the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen and him are probably playing Madden right now as we speak, talking to each other about shit. I mean, just the way those two are on point with each other throughout the game is just I just love it. I love the those two, the duo of them, and I see the Bills, like you said, just being the Titans. I mean, Tannehill has been playing very tentatively, and especially that Titans. You got the situation they're going through right now, so they're going to be like once they get back on the field and they get back in the on like to play against to play any team, it's going to be kind of probably rough at first. So I expect the Bills to really take advantage of that and shred. Next up, another division rivalry. I think it's the week of division rivals. I swear, Raiders and Chiefs.
I got to give it to the Chiefs. Nothing against the Raiders on this one. Just Chiefs have been putting boots to asses this whole season, and
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do it again.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Um, as much as I like the Raiders, like I said, Derek Carr's been stepping up, playing well. Their defense looks good. I like Josh Jacobs. The Chiefs are just the Chiefs. I mean, you got Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire stepping up as a great rookie. I mean, he hasn't like he has the numbers per se. Like he doesn't have big numbers, but he has the numbers needed. They got their wide receiving core of the gods with Demarcus Robinson, McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelsey. I mean, I've been through this many times. That team's just, and then their defense is also stacked with players like I said, Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Tyron Matthew. That team's just gonna, they're on their way to another playoff run. I don't know about the Super Bowl yet, but I definitely could see them do another playoff run this year. So, um, definitely see them winning too. All right, and Cardinals, Jets. I mean,
Next,
next,
Eagles, Steelers.
let's just say Cardinals.
Yeah, I bashed the Jets enough tonight. I feel like I'll give them a little break and I
just
think the Cardinals are going to come out on top.
just the Cardinals gonna win. Next, Eagles, Steelers. I'm going with Steelers. I mean, like I said, Big Ben's been looking good. Like I said, that Steelers team is probably in my top five AFC teams, whereas the Eagles are probably in my bottom five NFC teams. I'm just, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I mean, as well as I mean,
Big Ben's looking good this year.
I'm glad the Eagles got their win last week against the Niners, but that was an injury. But I really need to say it. No, you saw it. You heard us say it. No, but yeah, and then with the injury prone Niners they beat last week, I mean, yeah, they were injury prone. Imagine going against a Big Ben that's not injured. Hello, bye bye. Hello, good morning. Rams versus Washington. Rams all the way. I mean, they got Kyle Allen started, who hasn't started since fused with the Panthers, and I mean, we all know how that went. And so I'm going with the Rams, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams on this one too. I think maybe in a game or two, Washington will look better with this new quarterback, but nope, not in this one. Rams are looking too good for that.
Yeah, and keep going with the next one for you.
Oh yeah, we got Bengals Ravens.
Division rivalry.
With my slight bias, Ravens, but I think it's going to be a close game. especially with Joe Burrow playing how he's playing. You know, he's already over 1,000 yards on the season, which for a rookie quarterback, 1,000 yards in 4 games,
Insane.
pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. And as much as I want to see Joe Burrows win, I want to see Joe Burrows freaking just. I mean, not because I don't like nothing against the Ravens, but I just want to see Joe Burrows just light up and get some more wins this year because of just the rough start he had. Unfortunately, I just don't see it against the Ravens. I mean, Lamar's gonna run over the freaking Bengals defense. I see Patrick Queen really getting after the Joe Mixon if he runs the ball, or because Joe Burrow likes to try to tuck in and run. I feel like Patrick Queen is a dangerous. He's a fucking beast. I don't know where he came from. I don't know how the Ravens were like, hey, got it. I mean, but that dude is a monster. So I like him. I'm gonna see him freaking like hold the Bengals down, and yeah, it's gonna be a Ravens win. Unless you think I'm wrong, Chief, about McQueen, about Patrick Queen. Next up, we have Jaguars and Texans. Uh, I mean, division rivalry up of the finest. But no, I would have to say the Jags. I'm going with the stash on this one because as much as I want to see again Deshaun Watson and the Texans get their Maple Bar win, that's what I call when they need their 0-1. I don't know if you guys picked that up yet, but it's okay. Um, as much as I want to see him win, I just feel like like Minshew and the Jaguars are already annoyed enough. They've been losing the last few games. They should be winning. They've been playing like they said okayishly, but they definitely need to you know, work more and everything. So Texans are going to try to do something, but especially with a new coach coming in, like that hasn't literally just got put interim coach like this week. I'm seeing Jaguars all the way.
Against my better judgment, and honestly, and it's against my better judgment this week because for the last 3 weeks I have bet for this man, and for the last 3 weeks,
I know because
Minshew and his beautiful
that's
mustache
why
has let me down.
that's why I've said like because I know what you mean because like I said the first week we were like damn look at Minshew go, and then the next 3 weeks after we were like damn, but like I said that's why like Rooster said here Jags got motivation to win because they've been losing three straight. they're they're irritated. They know they can win. Texans wise, they're just a dysfunctional situation right now.
Oh yeah, they salty.
So I mean, if the Texans can win off pure anger at O'Brien or whatever, do it. But otherwise, I feel like yeah, the Jags are pissed and organized. Colts and Browns. That's actually a tough one because the Browns have been playing incredibly well besides Baker Mayfield, and the Colts have been defensively good. I mean, Philip Rivers ain't shit. Sorry, but I don't know. I mean, we got
I got Browns.
okay,
I think Browns by enough.
but
I don't see it being more than a touchdown and a field goal, maybe.
you know what? I'm gonna go with the Colts then. I mean, not because I'm trying to go against you, just because just to kind of see what's gonna happen though. Like just kind of like you know, have one for each side, and this one's like I said, a really tough one because I feel like the Browns are a really good team without Baker Mayfield. Maybe even like though he doesn't do much, he still gets the ball to a guy who can at least run the ball. But for me, I mean, I don't care for Phil Rivers, but that Colts defense is pretty decent, and we'll just see how they do against Mayfield and their wide receiving core. So yeah. We got the Giants and the Cowboys. That's probably gonna be game of the week. I already tell you that.
That is gonna be a good week, a good game. But I gotta go with the Cowboys on this one.
Okay.
I Something's got to give for Dak.
pretty much. And I mean, Daniel Jones and like I said, the whole Giants team is just they just don't have anything going on right now. So, I mean, just Cowboys all the way. I mean, Giants just they need to figure their team out. You're going with the you just don't like the Cowboys. Get out of here, Iverson. You're just hopeful. He's not even statistically speaking. He's just looking at. He's like, "Oh, please let the Giants win. I don't like the Cowboys." Broncos and Patriots. If it's Brian Hoyer against the Broncos, I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos. But if it's Cam Newton come back, then yeah. So I mean,
I'm going with Pats either way, but it's very similar thinking. If Newton's back, hammer down on those Pats, but I guess it is still a small toss up.
what's up there, Squid? Welcome, welcome. The way Dak has been playing, Dak keep it up. He will win MVP. Agreed, agreed, Squid. Right now, my top three for MVP: Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott. Because you got Dak Prescott number one in the league with passing yards, Russ Wilson number one with passing touchdowns, and like number three I think for passing yards, and then number two passing yards is Josh Allen, and he's like number two in touchdowns. So all three of those guys have been playing phenomenally this year, and I know like those all three of those are quarterbacks. We don't really have much of a choice of other players yet, just because they haven't really done much yet. But that, like I said, the those three quarterbacks have been phenomenal. It's going to be a huge race at the end. It's going to be awesome. Um, let's see. Uh, and we said Broncos, Patriots. Said Patriots. I'm gonna say Broncos if it's Brian Hoyer, but if it's Cam Newton, it's gonna be Patriots. But yeah, we'll see how Brad Ripien does if he starts again. And we got Vikings Seahawks, going with the Seahawks, not because I'm trying to be biased or anything, just because, you know, Seattle's been on a tear, 4-0 right now. Russell Wilson's look good, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, all of them look. The running game's okay, but everything else looks really good about them. Um, and then compare that to the Vikings, who have, start dating someone. Jesus Christ, Iverson! You just make it sound like that's a threat. Jeez. But Vikings, you got Kirk Cousins, who one week will throw 3 touchdowns, the next week throw 3 interceptions. I mean, Dalvin Cook is cooking off, so yeah, Dalvin Cook is going off though.
Whipping it up.
Yeah, he's doing what he's got to do. But that Seahawks linebacking core and DL and defensive line front, I mean, that's Pete Carroll's hard on right there. Okay, like Pete Carroll will be drafting and signing defensive linemen and linebackers galore. I mean, we just signed Damon Harrison to our team, to our practice squad. So, I mean, we're ridiculous about our defensive front. So, if Dalvin Cook can beat us, then the Vikings could win. But I'm going with Seahawks. And if Dak wins MVP, I will start dating someone though. That's just shut up, Iverson. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you on that. Seahawks all the way.
Yeah. I mean, if you chose the Vikings, I would have probably had to argue with you and be like, why? It is women are scary.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, I'll let Chief help you out with that one there, Iverson.
This is the most unpolitically correct statement that I can make, but also just being a goof, and please know that this is a joke. Yeah, they're scary, but they have boobs.
The boobies. And yeah, exactly.
Sorry, joke.
All
Not
jokes,
love
all
'em.
joking.
Dude,
The
all
statements
joking
made
aside,
about the situation are all jokes. It's just so. I feel like so dumb way to say that, but
I
just
mean,
because,
no, no, boobies are awesome if you get permission to touch them.
right?
If you have the permission, then it's great.
But
Anyway,
we do not condone Inappropriate time. Okay, moving on.
No uncon no uncondoned booby touches. Moving on.
Chargers versus Saints for Monday Night Football.
I got Saints. I think I think Drew Brees is mad. I don't think Justin Herbert is mad enough.
Yeah,
Oh
agreed.
wait, is Tyrod coming back? Is he supposed to be back
Um,
for this game?
they're
Do you
trying
know
to
this yet?
they're still trying to figure that out because there's still no answer yet about if he's coming back this week or next week. And even if he does, it depends on if they want to start him over Herbert or not. But I agree. I think the Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints because I feel like Drew Brees is trying to prove that he's still a good quarterback in this league. But I think it's gonna be a close one because I do think that if with Herbert, if he starts, he's going to be you know phenomenal against that Saints defense, and that Saints defense needs to step up. But will they? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, but definitely the Chargers. I feel like will have like I said, really a decent game against the Saints. It's gonna be a close one. There we go. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I've been married 3 years and still scared of her. You know what, Rooster? That's okay. I mean, that's it's not you're not scared. You respect her. I choose your words wisely. Gotta make sure she knows that. No, honey, no. I'm just I respect you, and I want to follow all your wishes or anything, whatever the fuck you say. So that's our predictions for week 5, and that is our.
You missed a game.
Did we miss a game? I felt like I did. What was the last
Yeah,
game?
for 49ers Dolphins.
See, I knew I was missing something, and I felt like it wasn't popping up. Okay, thank you. I was like, why does it look so small? Thank you. I'll go and type that in. But last one we have, and it was somewhere in the middle of the week. I accidentally somehow highlighted it, but didn't highlight it. Dolphins versus 49ers. I'm going with the Dolphins. I mean, it's a tough one because you got Fitzpatrick, and they already said that he's going to be the starter coming up. But, I mean, it,
I'm going against you. This is my other semi-stupid pick of the week, and it's only to set up good for Dolphins fans. I'm going with the 49ers because I don't want him personally too because I love him as a person, but I want Fitzmagic to have an off game because I just want to see Tua play. I want
true.
to see Tua get onto that field already and just, maybe he's scared of taking a hit again and messing up that hip. I get it, but you convinced us that you were good enough to get drafted in the first round, so be good enough to step foot on that field.
I agree. 100%. I definitely agree with that. And, I mean, like I said, like the reason why I go against the Niners is because I got the Dolphins going. You got everybody still on their team. You got the you know Fitzpatrick, even though he's coming out, he still has his receivers that he can use, like Devontae Parker and all them. Gasecki and the defense, is slightly injured, but they're still okayishly stout. And then you have on the Niners side, you got you know the the quarterback out. You got he Mistera out. Nick Bosa's out for the year. I mean, it's you got injury prones right now on the other side. So we'll just have to see though, because like I said, this is football. You never know what's gonna happen. Like for all we know, we said the Jets are gonna win, are gonna lose to the Cardinals, but they could come out and win. And you're
For all
assuming
you know, your prize running back could go down in the preseason with a completely ruptured ACL, be out for 46 weeks.
exactly.
Like what happened in my fantasy league. But anyway,
And I'm a Seahawks fan. It's not about being a Seahawks fan. No, literally, like Iverson. It's literally just the fact that they were injured. Like, I mean, if Garoppolo and Raheem Mostert, or even just Garoppolo, if Garoppolo was starting, I would pick the Niners 120% easy, no doubt. But you got Nick Mullins, who didn't do so well last game. You got his backup, who threw for 2 interceptions. And you have you have whatever it's called, your running back system, who you don't have Raheem Mostert right now because he's out. And on your defensive side, you had to go out and re-sign, or you had to go out and sign a defensive tackle or left end to cover up for Nick Bosa, or like what was it, three different injuries to the defensive
Well,
line?
it's like this, Iverson. Like, okay, if the Green Bay Packers were playing the New England Patriots, and I hate the New England Patriots. I live in New England. I have to deal with obnoxious New England fans all the time.
Jake.
So if no, he's not too bad.
I know.
But if if the Green Bay was playing New England and Aaron Rodgers was out and Devontae Adams, he's out. I forget who your wide receiver is right now.
Oh, for me? Oh, for the Packers.
Um, no, for Green Bay.
Oh, Alan Lazard,
Um,
Scantling, all them.
yeah, if you well if your wide receiver one was out,
About the end.
as much as I hate the Patriots, I'm giving them the W on that one. Like just they got to get it. And it's not because I hate the Green Bay. I love Green Bay. It's
Mm,
just, with what you got and what you're doing.
I agree with that. And yeah, everything. I mean, like I said, just looking at like I said, I bet against the Seahawks and I've lost. Like I said, I've predicted they were going to lose to. Oh shit, what week was that? Because I've been predicting they were going to lose against. Like they've been winning lately, so I've been like, okay, Seahawks got this easily. But yeah, there's been or the Falcons. I think the first week I said the Falcons were going to win possibly, but yeah, you don't trust Love and Lazard. Lazard's out, dude. He's not playing until like a few weeks later, dude. He's still out. You got, and you have Jordan Love who hasn't played the game yet, and I mean yeah he's done spring training, but he hasn't actually done a real
Oh,
life NFL game yet. So I mean,
I got to wrap up on my end. My controller's about to die,
oh
and
no
I
worries, yeah.
forgot to
This
charge
is,
my other one.
but anyway, Iverson, I'll tell you, we'll talk to you more about that. This is actually going to be the end of our show here. We kind of went a little bit longer than we actually thought we would. I'm so sorry about Chief here because I kept him on longer than. But we had a lot of conversation today with Squid, with Rigged, with all you guys, and I appreciate that because that's what we want to do more of. Um,
I don't mind doing them this long. We just got to schedule a bathroom break. I got to pee like a racehorse.
exactly. So he's gonna go use the restroom. Go ahead and say your goodbyes there, Chief. I'll go and wrap this up myself.
Thank you very much, friends. Thank you, Jet, for another great conversation, and I'll see y'all next week.
All right, Chief.
Toodles.
And y'all go check out Chief, obviously, on he'll be streaming here soon on his channel, but for now he is alright. Another follow, let's go. I'm gonna go check it out real quick. Who did? Okay, Squid, thank you so much for the follow. And Rigged, thank you so much that you guys for stopping by. Feel free to stop by anytime that you see me streaming to ask me questions. I'm always down to answer. Every Tuesday, yesterday we weren't able to do it, but every Tuesday or Wednesday, and we will let y'all know. We try to do this football talk because we don't try, we do this football talk, and we talk about like as you see here, pretty much the same setup every time. We go through the news that we see throughout the week, and then we go through the all the different games throughout the whole week about what happened, what we think's going on, how we feel about certain teams. Like I said about me with the Browns, I think the Browns are a phenomenal team. I think they have a great team going, but what's his name? Baker Mayfield is just like I feel like he's holding them back. Like I'm not saying that they're losing right now because they aren't. They're winning, but I feel like if Baker Mayfield played like Aaron Rodgers, even Joe Burrows, if he actually got the ball downfield, that Browns team would be like number one in the AFC right now. I'm just like I mean that's my honest guess because they've been phenomenal on defense. And the Ernest Johnson, where did he come from, Rigged? Holy crap! I just looked at his name. I was like, there's a third godly running back because they already got Kareem Hunt, they already got Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's hurt, which is really bad. But Ernest Johnson came in and was like, I got this. What the hell? I mean, that team is stacked, and you got Baker off to the side. I'm like, okay, Baker, you got it, man. You probably step like I saw the score 49-34. I was like, Okay, cool. Baker finally stepped up, did like 300 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns, etc. And then I see his stats. He has 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing, Baker? Oh, 100% NBA rigged. 100%. Like I said, you got freaking Pittsburgh on your division. That's like, Big Ben stepped up completely. You got Baltimore, which has a stacked defense as well, and just a team that's ready to go. You have, oh god, NFC or AFC North. You have those two, and Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati. Yes, you're not like they're not on top. They're not like the winners right now, but it's because like Joe Mixon just started running the ball properly. I mean, like now they actually have the running game going. They actually won this last game. I see Cincinnati being dangerous too. Like you said, it's gonna AFC North is gonna be freaking lighting it up right now. But Baker is gonna hold back the Browns if he can't get the ball downfield. Because come clutch time, if I'm down by 5 points in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, and I'm starting my own like say 20-yard line because there's a kickoff. Let's just say blah blah blah, and I have Baker as my quarterback. I have no faith. I have no faith with Baker as my quarterback because he is not throwing the ball at all. I feel sorry for Chubb. Hope he gets. Yeah, exactly. Trade Baker for Lawrence. Yeah, because I'm sure that whoever has the pick to pick up Trevor Lawrence is gonna want Baker Mayfield, right? No. um. I do feel sorry for Chubb too. I feel like Chubb was having such a good year. I've had this argument every day. Who's better, Raiders Steelers? Oh, that's rude, Squid. Why would you ask that question? Ooh. Uh. mm, that's a tough one because because one that could be a question of biased opinions, or that could be a question of like what you see stat wise. For me, um, oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I like the question though. Oh, lordy. I mean, obviously when see like Rooster's a Pittsburgh fan too, and I'm not trying to say that did not that throws away your pick there, Rooster, because the Steelers are 4-0. So I totally understand that, and obviously I understand why you picked the Raiders too. It's a tough one because they both have good teams. I mean, Derek Carr stepping up for the Raiders. You got Ben Roethlisberger, who even though he's older and looks like he's going to retire soon, he still is making plays. You got Josh Jacobs and James Conner. James Conner stepping up now that Benny Snell had that first week of productivity. Now he's like, oh, you ain't taking my job, so he's doing work. Josh Jacobs is doing work. You're a Steelers fan too, Squid. Okay. Yeah, see, same with Rooster. Rooster's a Steelers fan too. So you got those two going on. Sorry, excuse me. um, you got the receivers who, like, you obviously Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson on the Steelers, and on the Raiders you got Hunter Renfro, you got Henry Ruggs, you got Brian Edwards. Tight ends, you got Heath Miller. I think is still with the Steelers, right? Heath Miller, and then you have Darren Waller on the Raiders. Oh, both teams look really good like that. Oh shit. Oh, um, that's oof, oof. That's a mean question. That's a mean question there, Squid. I would honestly, I would love to see them play each other. If they both made it to the playoffs, I would love to see that game with this team the teams they have now because that is going to be a hell of a game against their defensive front, like Steelers defensive front versus Josh Jacobs, Raiders defensive front against James Conner, the secondary versus freaking the quarterback and receiver. Oh man, as long as Ben is healthy, we have a good chance for another ring. Possibly, I can see that definitely, Rooster. I mean, he's definitely playing well. Um, as far as for a ring, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of it could happen. Like I'm definitely not going to dismiss it. It could happen. A and A without Ben, and they did worse. Yeah, I see that. Um, I could see like, but again, that's last year, and that's where like the difference comes in. Like you got last year's team and this year's team, and last year's team for the Raiders, like they weren't that good. I mean, Derek Carr, I thought was gonna lose his job because of how crappy he was playing last year. Um, and then yeah, Big Ben was out all year last year too. If I had the Raiders against the Steelers, who would I? Mm, mm, I'm trying to think. That's a tough one. Like I'm literally going through my head trying to think of like all the players on defense and stuff. Oh, okay. You know what? I gotta go. Hmm, man, that hurts my head because they both are like I like want to say one, but then the other side that kicks my ass. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with the Steeler. Oh boy, what about this? Oh man, you know I'm gonna go. I gotta go with. Okay, well, okay, let's look at that real quick. Actually, real squid. Let's see here. So, um, okay, so we got the shit. What are we looking? The Raiders here. I'm gonna go with stats. Then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna go team stats. There we go. Okay. So we want to see their defense, rushing offense, returns. Well then, apparently they didn't want to show anything about their defense, which is annoying as shit. Offense, I want to see their defense. Why can? Okay, let me see this. Defend. Here, sorry, I'm gonna look at your guys' chat real quick. Ravens, maybe. Okay, well, sorry, I gotta make sure I didn't see anything. Last year, worst D. Yep. I know realistically Packers may not make it to the Super Bowl. We have to deal with Seahawks and if healthy 49ers. Well, it's still, I mean, we have to deal with the Packers. Like the Seahawks, like don't get me wrong, they've had their history with the Packers. The Packers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers will demolish our secondary. You got to remember that, Iverson. The Seahawks secondary is booty. Okay, we have Shaquille Griffin and what's his name, Jamal Adams when he's healthy. But otherwise, I mean, like you could tear Aaron Rodgers could tear apart the Seahawks defense easy. With a healthy Big Ben, there's no chance of blah blah to get the Super Bowl. That means maybe Lamar isn't playing at top potential. Exactly. When he's this started this year, Lamar was playing top potential. He was doing a lot of work, honestly. But since the start of this year, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's definitely slacked off. Like since this season started. Um, okay, here we go. Fan freaking tastic. Okay, defense. We're gonna look at little. Damn. I mean, you want to talk about yards a game or something. I mean, Seahawks. have given up 476 yards a game. Yep. So let me see here. Yeah, see, so Seattle is like for yardage wise, like we've already given up almost 2,000 yards this year alone. Like literally, like the Seattle has given up 1,907 yards, 476 yards a game, and 27 points a game. Like we've literally given up a lot. Like our defense is not as good as you think. Like we have a good linebacking. Like our rush defense is great. We're at 75.8 yards a game for rushing. So if you can't rush the ball against us, excuse me. But Seattle's passing defense, because we have no fucking secondary, 401 yards a game for the passing yards. That's trash. Like that's why I'm so irritated with my Seahawks team, because don't get me wrong, we're 4-0 and that's great because we have an offense that's fucking like, you get a touchdown, I get a touchdown. You get a touchdown, I get a touchdown. You get a field goal, I'm still throwing touchdowns. But the problem is that we can't fucking stop shit. And that's why, it's like, that's why when they like, like I want to say Seahawks could be Super Bowl bound, but with the defense that they have, we're gonna be giving up like records or something. Someone's gonna throw for like 600 yards against us. I swear, because our secondary. And then, so I'm trying to find the Raiders in here. Sorry, I was trying to. The Raiders have decent. So they're not the worst defense. They're this year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they're like 23rd in yards a game. Like they give about 23rd yards a game, which isn't great. Absolutely not, compared to the Steelers, who are number one in yards in game. But then again, they haven't played. They've only played 3 weeks. They haven't played the extra week yet. But still, they're at and Colts defense are pretty much number one. 4 games played, 945 yards, 236 yards a game. Dude, the Colts defense looks fucking good this year, guys. Like of all the teams, the Colts defense, like holy shit, I signed this team to my fantasy league. Let's go. Cause seriously, guys, like oh my goodness. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. No, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Got the notifications that I'm trying to get through. All right. So let me go ahead and grab this. And I was doing. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Let me see if you guys have. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm not missing any conversation. Um, but yeah, Steelers. Like I said, they've only played 3 games. I can't really see what their stats are as far as for like legitimacy. But I will say the Raiders, comparatively, the Steelers stat wise defense are better than the Raiders defense. So going by that, yes, the Steelers would have the advantage over the Raiders by like being able to stop Derek Carr and his offense more than his defense could stop Ben Roethlisberger. So because of that, yeah, I will go with that absolutely. Oh, I see why you're laughing now. I was like, why is Rooster laughing? I had to go to my actual. You mother. Come on, Rooster. Let me enjoy myself, okay? I'm still freaking waking up and shit. You got. I'm gonna make it to. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So that's sorry, I'm like trying to make sure I think. So yeah, I agree with you guys though. I had to go look it up. So far, it looks like Steelers defense is better than the Raiders defense, but still, it's gonna be a good game. It would be a good game. Just saying. And with the Seahawks suck because they have, like I said, like the worst defense in the NFL. Nope, can't do that. No rest for donation win. All right, I'll be back. I'm still like, okay. I'm gonna do these sit-ups. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna end this stream because I've already been in. It's a 3 hour long stream that's gonna go on YouTube, and we're gonna have to talk about. So I don't against Kansas City. Well, I don't know. Mahomes has been pretty like lenient lately. Like he hasn't been like really like last year. He was gunning, but like this year he's been kind of chill. He hasn't been he hasn't been really like driving the ball downfield. And I feel like he still will though. He still will drive the ball, but I mean I don't know. I feel like it's gonna we'll see. I feel like especially division rivalry again. I see it being a high scoring game. I want to say Chiefs probably win 31-35 to 21-24. Like it's gonna be like 30 is the Chiefs, 20 is the Raiders kind of thing. Like I think that's what's gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna do these real quick. All right, freaking. You're so funny there, Rooster. Think you're funny. All right. Oh shit. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, there we go. Stretch. Hold that for a bit. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm here. Hello. Yeah, I mean, for the benefit of the Raiders, I gave them 20 points because I see them still scoring a couple touchdowns or so, just because of Derek Carr's connection to Waller, Brian Edwards, etc. But I do see, obviously Mahomes connecting with DeMarcus Robinson, McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to run the ball a bit. Travis Kelsey is obviously going to be a threat. It's going to be a good game. Either way, it's going to be a good game, though. Um, whew, sorry, freaking Rooster. But absolutely, 100%, definitely do agree with you guys about this game, and I'm excited to see it. I hate that it has to be like not till Sunday night or so, but I'm excited to see it pan out. So, all right, there, boys. I'm going to shut off the stream here just because I'm going to try to put the stream on YouTube later. But I am going to be streaming again in about 5 or 10 minutes to play some games, just because I gotta let my dog out and shut up, Rooster. But yeah, I'm gonna let my dog out and we're gonna go. We're just gonna let her outside, go to the bathroom and stuff, and then make sure we're all set for the night. Cause yeah, because otherwise, don't want to wake up family and stuff. But anyway, let her out, do all that, come back in about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be starting up again. So thank you for joining us for Football Talk. Me and Chief Squatch. This will be on my YouTube channel, which feel free to check it out if you like. Definitely much love to you guys for coming in and saying hi, seeing the stream and everything. Yeah, absolutely, man. Today this week was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys. usually we only do it's like an hour and a half long, and then we had Squid come in asking questions, Rig come in asking questions, Rooster and Iverson were here talking too. Like I said, this is why we do this. This is like primo why we do this because I thoroughly enjoy the conversation. I love football as much as you guys do. Um, Not really a biased fan. I mean, yes, I like I said, born and raised Seattle. I watch the Seahawks, but I'm just like I said, I'm all about like watching players. I like the players. Like I said, I like um let me just I'm just trying to think of somebody I actually like. Well, Joe Burrow, I like him as a quarterback. I like Juju Smith Schuster as a wide receiver. I like I don't like Jimmy Graham. I don't like Jimmy Graham as a tight end just because when he left the Saints, he just was not the same tight end after the Saints. We gave up Max Unger out of Seattle, so I guess that's that. um, but yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I just like a lot of different players. Raheem Mostert, I like him from San Francisco. I think he's a great back. I think he's got a future there. Um, Taysom Hill, yeah, that's definitely somebody I know that a lot of people like. I just I feel bad for him. I mean, like actually I don't anymore because he got a good contract. So, but I feel like Taysom Hill is underrated and he needs to play more. So, I definitely like Taysom Hill. Um, who else is there? But yeah, basically Justin Herbert. I like him. I want him to be more of a starting quarterback than Tyrod Taylor. I feel like he's a better future for the Chargers than even Philip Rivers was. Um, yeah, like I said, I go on about different players, but definitely excited to see this year because this year it's just crazy. Like we don't know who's gonna do what. You know, I mean, we see the Chiefs, we see the Ravens, but we also see like the Bills. You know, it's like whoa, the Bills, um, Buccaneers. You know, Tom Brady's finally stepping up in Tampa Bay. Um, just a lot of different stuff, guys. I'm excited, and like I said, feel free to ask me questions if you see me online. Feel free to join us for more football talk. Like I said, I'll be sure to advertise it and let you guys know. It's usually every Tuesday, unless some like yesterday's schedule thing happens. We had to do it today. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel. So yeah, feel free to keep stopping by. You know, all that follow, subscribe. You know, all that good shit, guys. Thank you so much again for stopping by. I love you guys so much. Welcome again to OK Squid Rigged, Brewster, Iverson. Thank you for stopping by. And well, just being here, I should say. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for being here because you guys are my mods. You guys are awesome. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not trying to leave anyone out. Chief, obviously, thank you. I know you're probably out doing your stuff, but Chief, for being part of the football talk, always appreciate you. And, you know, we'll be back in a few minutes, guys.